Hello, and welcome to In Layman's Terms, the show where we dumb things down to their most rudimentary forms in an attempt to teach and explain things that can pretty much always explain themselves. Yeah. I'm Jason, and you are...
I'm Olivia, hello!
Yeah, this is Olivia. We live together.
For 4 years!
For 4 years, we've lived together. Anyway... We're going to be dumbing down a pretty big franchise for our pilot episode. It's a game series that we only got into about 2 years ago. I mean, it's been around since 2014 in the English translation, but we rode that wave all the way to the most recent game release, which was last year?
You could say we killed that game.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, we did. Sure. Let me turn this down, actually.
Sorry.
Because I just realized. You are a loud person.
I am a loud person. Thank you for noticing. I know.
Welcome.
I seem very quiet at times.
You're fine.
But,
You're fine. But basically, we rode that entire wave of game mess through to the most recent game release, which was last year. And it's just solidified our love for the company, so... Spike Chunsoft, I owe you my life.
We owe you. You're forever in our debt.
We owe you so much.
Yeah. We're in your debt.
For people who don't know, we're talking about Danganronpa. People say it different ways. Dugu poo poo, or dingle dangle, rompy pompies. Like, you know.
We've bungled this name so many times. It's actually ridiculous.
If you know of the game, or you are a fan of the game, or anything like that,
you've heard us talk about it before.
You know that people butcher the hell out of the name.
It's become a meme.
It's a meme, of course.
It's like a Bendy Snatch Cummerbund.
Oh Jesus! I mean, you're right. You're not wrong. All right. So since the universe of Danganronpa spreads over 3 main games, a spin-off game, some in-universe novels, and technically 3 anime series. I mean, would you count?
Would you count? Are you talking about?
No. Would you count Future and Despair Arc as 2 separate?
I'd say it's 1 because they intertwine, but we'll talk about that later.
But they both have the same amount of episodes, so I'm gonna count
it as 1. I
okay.
Say 1, just because they're so intertwined.
Okay,
and
that makes sense.
The way it was shown, but we'll discuss that at a later date.
Yeah, so we're gonna technically 3, so that's why I have technically.
Yeah.
And it's not including the Komaeda 2.5 OVA.
That's what I thought you were talking about originally.
Oh no, that's something completely different. But anyway, there's a lot to unpack with this whole universe. So we're gonna make things really simple here, and we're starting with the installation that kind of kicked off the entire universe of that we know as Danganronpa, with the first game, Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
We should put in like a sound bit there.
Dun dun dun.
Or we can make our own sound bits, I guess.
It's just us going dun dun dun.
That's it. That's the whole podcast.
That's just it. That's it. Okay, for those of you who don't know, Danganronpa is an adventure visual novel with some puzzle aspects, I guess.
A lot of puzzle aspects.
It doesn't...
More towards the later games.
Online, it doesn't have it listed as a puzzle game.
But it should be.
It has it listed as an adventure visual novel. But, it does have, like, click and point exploration.
I'd say it's about like 40% puzzle solving.
Okay.
Especially towards the later games.
It's with all the trials, it's very quick-paced puzzles, but
more like Ace Attorney.
Ace Attorney, you could spend 3 hours on one decision. You could if you wanted to. You're not timed, but here you're timed.
Okay, yeah.
So, Danganronpa was developed and published by Spike Chunsoft. It was originally released in November of 2010 in Japan and finally localized in February of 2014. So that was a 4-year wait for all Western audiences.
The poor Western audience.
Yeah. Well, only later on, stuff like that with localization kind of made the fan base go crazy on forums.
I was gonna say,
with all the fan translations.
Yeah, that was a whole thing that I missed.
That was for the second game. We completely missed the immersive experience of having to wait for those fan translations.
Yep.
But that's fine.
We're okay with
Let's see. If you're interested in giving this game a go, it's available on its original platform, the PlayStation Portable, as well as its ports to PS Vita, PS4, PC, iOS, Android. You can get it in a bundle with 1-2 Reload, where you can get the first and second game.
I think that's the one we got, the 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, we played it on Steam, so we played it for PC first.
True.
And then later, because we're hooligans, we bought 1-2 Reload, even though we had already played the game. I think just because we wanted to experience it not clicking with a trackpad.
Didn't they also have extra stuff in it?
Yes, I think. They had some.
No, you played the first one on PC, then you bought the second one, and we played that one.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, we did.
Oh.
Because remember, like, halfway through we switched?
Did we?
Yeah, because we played it on the TV, and we were like, oh my god, this is so different. And then by the time we got to the third one, we were like, this is extremely different because it was.
I have the second game on Steam, so I bought it for Steam, and we probably played it.
I think we started it on Steam.
If we have a save file there,
we're gonna have to.
Then I'm pretty sure we played it on Steam.
Oops, my bad.
Or I think we just bought 1-2 Reload so we could have it again. Probably. Who knows? I don't know.
Something happened there.
Something. I know that I've played it through other times on PlayStation, but anyway, you can play it on all of those platforms if you want to give it a go yourself. So now for a little bit of the what is this? What is Danganronpa?
That's a very good question, Jason. What is Danganronpa? Let's unload this gigantic package that is Danganronpa.
So this is the first, as we said before, it's the first game of the many games.
3 games.
3 games. 4 if you're counting Alter Despair Girls.
Yeah.
But we're talking specifically about the first game, which is Trigger Happy Havoc. And this game follows...
Trigger Happy indeed.
Oh, yeah. So this game follows your main character and your classic blank slate guy, normie boy, Makoto Naegi.
Normie boy. The problem is that he is so normal. You look at him, and he just looks like every other goddamn anime protagonist. He's got the ahoge. He's got the stupid, typical school uniform.
He does, yeah.
And, it's just...
I mean, technically, hold on. Is he wearing...
He's wearing a sweatshirt.
He's wearing
He's wearing the sweatshirt with the gigantic hood to fit over his gigantic hair and his ahoge.
It's weird. Like, doesn't he...
All the heads in Danganronpa are very large in the first game, and I don't know why.
Yeah, he has a very curvy, thick ahoge. Now that I'm looking at it. But
now that I'm looking at this ahoge.
He's got a very strange looking ahoge.
He's very normal looking though.
And because
we're
in
forgot
layman's...
about him at one point actually.
Yeah, we did. I mean, and since this is in layman's terms and we're breaking everything down super far, for those who don't know what ahoges are,
we're gonna just dive in here.
We're just gonna dive into some vocabulary here.
Some anime vocabulary. I feel like we should just have a whole nother section for this.
For anime that's
that will be considered later.
That's a lot. But for those of you who don't know what ahoges are, have you ever had an anime character? With this really nonsensical piece of hair sticking out the top of their head?
What are some examples, Jason, of people with ahoges besides Makoto Naegi and other characters from the Danganronpa series? I'm pretty sure.
Well, Olivia.
There's probably some Pokemon characters who've got it.
Famous ahoges. Top 10 or top 15 ahoges.
Oh, dear God.
Let's see. To name a few, according to this list on my anime list. Himiko Katagiri from Panty Pony Dash. It's kind of like a little weird looking crescent moon one. Saber from Fate Stay Night. It's just a little strand of hair. Just a little one.
It can't compare to Makoto Naegi's ahoge.
Not too big. I don't know how to pronounce some of the... For people who are watching fairly recent animes, Tadashi Yamaguchi from Haikyuu.
Oh, yeah,
his is kind of smaller, but it kind of goes a little...
It's more normal.
Yeah. A classic, Konata Izumi from Lucky Star. Hers is a very long and curly ahoge.
This is going way off track of what we originally planned.
Edward Elric has one. He does.
Oh shoot, man! I forgot about that.
Edward Elric has one. To name a few. I mean, if we have North and South Italy from Hitalia. Those are the ones with the little curly cues.
Listen, even Superman has a flat ahoge on the front of his forehead.
I never thought of it like that, but sure. Superman has an ahoge.
Listen, you have an ahoge sometimes.
Some days. I don't even know where I was in my little... Yeah, Normie Makoto.
Let's go back to Makoto. I'm sorry about that tangent.
Normie boy. So this is his first day of school.
Oh boy, I'm gonna be a high school student.
You got your classic trope of, it's my first day of high school, let's go.
I'm so excited to be here at this very prestigious school.
Yeah, so the school in question is called Hope's Peak Academy. And it's renowned for kind of producing the best of the best as far as students are concerned.
You could say they're the ultimate school.
Hilarious. Wow.
I know, I'm hysterical.
So because it's a school for the best of the best, that means that the students admitted are probably the best, and they excel at whatever craft or trade, I don't know, that they can do.
Specialize in?
Their specialties. I mean, some of them aren't really specialties because they're born into it.
Yeah. Born into it.
Yeah. So these students are known as ultimates, and that's in the
Ultimates?
Ultimates.
Ultimates? Ultimates. It sounds like
I guess it sounds like I said ultimates. But they're the best at what they do. But this is only the English localization version. I know some people call them super high school level. Insert skill or talent here.
SHSL for short.
To shorten it, but it's still a mouthful. So for the purpose of limiting how many potential Freudian slips we might have in this episode, we're gonna stick with ultimates because that's what I said. Ultimates again.
I told you. You're
right.
Saying it.
You're right. I do say ultimates. But we'll stick with that because that's what we know it as because we played the English localization version. So on top of starting a new life at a new school, things get really weird for Makoto.
Right when you walk in the doors, right off the bat.
Right off the bat. We said that at the same time, and I am slightly worried.
The field is strong.
Mm-hmm. Things get so it's super weird. He walks into school, he's kind of looking around, and he blacks out.
Right as he walks in.
Right as he walks out, and he wakes up in a classroom he's unfamiliar with. He's never been in this classroom before, and he's forced to investigate his surroundings. Cue player tutorial.
Dun, dun, dun.
Teach you how to play the game, how to navigate the school, how to rotate the map, which is this weird mix of 2D and 3D.
It's very odd because it's as if you're multi-layering different flat planes as an animator speaking. It's like you're going through almost Google SketchUp almost.
What is that?
Google SketchUp is like this program online that you can try out for free where you can make various layouts for like houses. You can make bedrooms, you can make classrooms, and they're all sort of like these flat 2D looking 3D objects. It's supposed to like mimic a 3D plane in a 2D realm. It's very odd. I had to use it in high school and I didn't like it at all, but that's just me because I'm a 2D animator. Anyway, but it's like you're going through these like different flat planes. It's all pretty rendered out pretty well. And
but I mean the only thing that the differences between the 2D and the 3D is when you're in the classrooms, it's a 3D space.
Yeah.
There's depth to it.
But like the characters.
But a lot of the characters are just 2D images.
It's as if like it's like Paper Mario when the paper
You're
people
right.
pop up.
Yeah, it is very much like Paper Mario.
It is in fact like Paper Mario.
But then they have 3D aspects like when you're going down the hallways and you're actually exploring the school itself. You're actually exploring a 3D space.
But you like don't, because it's first person, you don't see Makoto running through the hallways.
You don't see a 2D guy running through a 3D world.
Whenever you enter a room, if there's a character in there, the 2D character will pop up.
Yeah. It's interesting. I like how they do that.
It's a fun mix.
But yeah, you learn about how to move, you learn about the point and click, how to talk to people. It's all the basic mechanics.
There's also a lot of when you get the talking points, there's a lot of really beautifully rendered images, like stock images, but not stock images.
The sprites? They're called sprites.
No, not the sprites. You know, like the painted images.
Oh, the borders?
No, not the borders. It's like,
what do you mean?
No, when you're talking,
the occasional cutscene type deal.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not like animated. It's just like art cards. That's the word I was looking for.
Art cards. I'm trying to think of...
The sprites aren't really rendered too much, but they've got a cool texture to them.
They do. And I mean, they for once you reload, they kind of
amped it up.
Yeah, they upgraded, or they
when they fixed up Persona. Didn't they fix up Persona Golden?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So they kind of remade it and fixed it up a little bit, made some... I don't remember what the word is, and I'm an idiot.
Remastered.
Remastered. Thank you. That was the word.
12%.
There you go. Yeah, so it's kind of like that. Looks really cool.
Please play.
Please play it. Yeah, it's a strange style to kind of get used to when you first play it, because
it's not your average game. Let's call it that.
It's not. So as you explore the school, once you kind of learn all these basic mechanics, you meet up with the rest of your class, the 78th class of Hope's Peak, and that's an important number.
Dun dun.
That's an important number. You're going to want to remember...
Please remember that number.
Please remember that this class is class number 78, because it kind of fits into the whole timeline of the universe, which is...
all 3 games.
Mm-hmm. It's really messy, but 78...
And the 4th game a bit, I guess.
Are you... 4 as in...
4 as in 2.5. Yeah, Ultras Fair Girls.
Why are you calling it 2.5?
I always call it 2.5.
Oh, you say 2.5 and I always mix it up with the OVA.
Well, because then I always call the anime the 3rd.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Okay.
So I like.
Oh, because the game V3 and okay. You know what? Yeah, that's confusing. So once you meet these people, you begin one of the most twisted and absolutely fucked up high school adventures. It is the most crazy thing you've ever seen.
Oh boy.
And if I didn't state this already, it's whack.
Tears will be spilled.
It's whack. Prepare yourself for lies, deception, betrayal, and
blood.
Pink blood.
To be specific.
Pink blood. That's the whole gimmick. I guess that's what...
It's like to make it more child-friendly, I guess, which this game really isn't.
It's still rated M for mature.
I know. They said something weird about it. We looked it up. Eventually, at some point in time, we looked up the fact that they made pink blood.
Yeah.
It was to make it more cartoonish and to fit into the world that they had, because they thought the red blood made it look too realistic, which was weird. Remember?
Yeah, because they were trying to make it more bubbly.
Yeah.
For a horror-esque game.
They wanted it to be more cartoonish versus realistic.
For murder. Yeah, because they said with the red it would be too dark.
Yeah, they said the red would be too dark and too realistic, so they're like, let's make it a hot pink.
I mean, it's still dark as hell.
I know.
But yeah. That's what they...
Let's make this hot pink.
Yeah, let's make it hot pink.
Let's make it like cherry blossom petal pink.
Yeah, which is exactly what it is.
It's cherry blossom petal pink.
Which looks hilarious.
Against murder scenes.
Against scenes of murder and...
when there's a lot of blood.
Acts of violence and all that.
Boy, howdy.
Oh, man. So before we actually go any further, I just want to...
Here's the warning.
I just want to... Yeah, it's a pretty big warning. We are definitely going to be talking about some spoilers. We're going to be going through the entire game from top to bottom. We're going to try and shoot out as much stuff as we remember from when we played it 2 years ago.
We've been kind of drifting back and forth into this one game specifically, throughout all the games that we've been through.
we always kind of come back.
You kind of have to.
Because a lot of the stuff that happens in future games in this universe and in the anime, it plays heavily on the events that happen in this game.
Yeah, everything is so heavily intertwined with one another that you could potentially play each game by itself, but I don't recommend it because you would be missing a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, it's not like an Ace Attorney game where you can just kind of jump in and at the beginning they refresh you on, oh, hey, this is Phoenix Wright. This is he's a lawyer. He does this.
They will not do that.
They will not do that because every game has a different cast. But the events that happen in this game affect everyone going forward. Mm-hmm. And the anime, the novels, the everything. There
are definitely characters you are going to want to remember.
Yeah.
We will eventually point out specific characters who you will remember.
But this is going to be a very spoiler heavy. I mean, all these episodes are going to be extremely spoiler heavy. So for people who don't want to be spoiled,
please stop now and go play the game.
Please stop, and I highly recommend you play the game so you can learn about this stuff yourself.
Hopefully this has piqued your interest.
We already gave you a little kind of introduction to what the game is and how it kind of works. We didn't spoil anything yet, so
you are going in safe.
You're going in safe right now.
For now.
For now, because soon it will be spoilers. So
please leave the podcast.
Please go watch a.
We love you and thank you for supporting us, but please go play the game.
So yeah, for people who don't want to be spoiled, this is the time when I'd say, hey, go check out a Let's Play, go play the game yourself, and then come back and finish this to hear our interpretations of how things go.
Hear our gooby nonsense go on.
Yeah,
and our shenanigans.
But for people who don't care about being spoiled and want to hear our hot takes on how things go in the rest of the game, hear about Normie and his adventures.
Yep. Through hell
and back at this really twisted high school.
Multiple times.
Spoilers aplenty. Here we go. So this is when spoilers right now. Spoilers are happening. Spoilers are happening. Kind of. Maybe.
All right, let's dive right into the first case, shall we?
Or we can talk about the characters.
Oh, jokes, JK.
Before we start saying who killed who, they'd be like, who the hell is that?
JK, how about we go through the how many students are there, Jason?
15?
15. Please remember that number. 15 students.
15 students and one bear.
And one bear. For now.
For now. Just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Keep that in mind. So we're gonna start. We talked about Normie Nyagi a little bit.
Normie Nyagi, the kid that has no talent.
Well, he doesn't have a talent, but he was still accepted into the school for something, right?
Shall we explain?
So the school again takes only the best of the best for whatever talent, whatever skills. You have to be in that 1% of really cool people in order to get into that school. Makoto is the exception. The school has a raffle.
A lottery, if you will.
A lottery. And every now and again, if they bring in a new class of kids, they pull a name from the lottery and, while I'm talking, we're going to go check out, because I think the RA might be coming into our room to, check and see how clean our room is. Interesting.
I don't know. They went downstairs.
Okay. Well, anyway, back to getting back to back here.
Let's get down to business.
So, as you could probably guess, with this raffle, Makoto was the name that was picked in the raffle, giving him the title Ultimate Lucky Student.
You said ultimate again.
Ultimate? You know what? I'm gonna say ultimate.
From now on.
I'm coining the term ultimate. Yes, that is happening right now. I guess that's just a thing that I say.
This is just the way life is,
That's just how it goes.
Anyways, Makoto Naegi, the ultimate lucky student, he doesn't really have anything special going on about him except for the fact that he got lucky and won this raffle.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, everyone around him is super freaking talented.
You're absolutely right. I mean, some people aren't quote-unquote talented because some
they were born into their ultimates.
They were born into their title.
Yes.
And the next person on the list is one of those people who was born into their title.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he is Byakuya Togami.
Oh, boy, my lovely Byakuya Togami.
We have
feelings about Byakuya Togami.
We have thoughts about Byakuya Togami.
A lot of thoughts about
Byakuya. A lot of them. He is the ultimate affluent progeny, and...
he's a jerk.
He's a jerk. Yeah, you always gotta have that one stuck-up guy.
This is typical spoiled rich kid.
Yeah, he's in the school because his family is rich. Oh, health and safety is happening again down the hall. They're getting closer. This is horrifying.
This is terrifying.
They're gonna open the door and we're just gonna be sitting here with a microphone.
Hello and welcome to our
podcast. So.
Hi.
So what? I don't give a shit.
Oh, okay.
I don't give a shit. I'm sitting here in my underwear. They can walk in and just see me sitting here. I don't care.
All right. That's you, buddy.
So now everyone knows I'm just, whatever. This is how I do things.
This is the way life is, guys. Welcome to 710.
This is how life works. So he's insanely rich, and he gets by the fact that he has a lot of money, and he flaunts it.
He's not afraid to show how wealthy he is.
Yeah, how well off he is.
He's like, wow, guys, y'all suck because I'm obviously better than all of you guys, and I have no need to be around peasants like you.
And he thinks he's smarter than everyone else, too. I
hate to admit it, he is smarter than a lot of them.
Yeah, in some ways he's smarter, but I don't know. He's ridiculous.
He is.
He's ridiculous. But then you have the next character who kind of works with you to help you if you get stuck, and you always got to have that one character that kind of looks out for you and is your your guide,
your go-to person,
your guide for the game. And this is Kyoko Kirigiri.
We love her.
We love her. Her ultimate is ultimate.
You literally do not know what her ultimate is.
They just gave you question marks.
No one knows.
You don't know.
She's a mystery.
She is.
It's still a mystery.
So you don't know what her talent is, her skill, you don't know what her ultimate ability thing is yet.
She just kind of pops up.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna help you." And that's
you learn later on, which is great because they're getting closer. This is scary. But you learn later on, and that kind of reveals why how she's as smart as she is, and what she can do, and what she can figure out, and it's helpful to you. But I mean, you don't really need to know it right off the bat, because when she tells you, you're I'm not surprised.
It's like, wow, I could have probably guessed that by now.
I could figure it out, but
we were like guessing up a storm.
Yeah, we had no idea.
We thought many different things. I don't think we even did. We guess?
We didn't guess at all.
She just
she just told us, and we said, "Oh, okay,
all right,
yeah, that works.
Yeah, that just happened.
That works. I didn't guess it, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, so she helps you throughout the game. She has a really big part in relating to the events that happened prior to this game, and the stuff that kind of sets up how this game, or the events of this game, came to be. Yeah. And
she's just. We want to keep her in mind.
Yeah, she's important.
Keep her in mind.
There are a lot of characters.
Well, mainly Kyoko and Byakuya so far, actually, are some of the people we want you to remember the most.
And Makoto.
Well, of course,
you play as Makoto.
You're gonna wanna obviously remember Makoto Naegi.
That's true. The next character I have on this list is Aoi Asahina.
Another person you're gonna want to remember.
Another person that's important to the story.
And important to the franchise.
Important to the franchise for
later reasons.
She's annoying. That's
is.
Just my personal opinion.
No, I think she's annoying too. She's annoying and she loves donuts.
Yeah, but so her ultimate ability, she's an ultimate swimmer. So
yes, so she's fit. She's really fit. She also has very large boobs, and I don't know why.
It doesn't make sense. Games, I think Danganronpa, the thing with Danganronpa, they gotta have one person who is well endowed.
They have a few.
You know what? You know what?
They have quite a few.
You know what?
Yeah. I don't see the point, because half the people who they have that are well endowed should not be that well endowed.
Well, because they're all athletes.
Exactly. That's exactly it. They're all athletes. And athletes, if you do, then good on you.
It hinders your ability to kind of do stuff.
Most athletes that I know do not have very large breasts. They're
honkers. What was that long word in the
Oh no, I don't even remember.
I don't know. It sounded like a dinosaur.
It did sound like a dinosaur. But they tend to be more on the lighter side, on the top side.
Lighter side on the top side.
Uh-oh.
Oh, here comes the RAs. Let's welcome them. Hello, welcome to our podcast.
Yes, you may.
Do you guys want to be on our podcast? We're recording. No, you're good. Where were we when we had our intermission?
We were at Asahina.
Donut
lover.
We were talking about boobs.
Yes, we were talking about the fact that athletes
have boobs.
Yes,
really
but they're
big
not
boobs
in Danganronpa, which I still don't understand. Because just from my experience, if you are an athlete out there and you do have big boobs, good on you. You rock, and I believe in your skills. I'm just curious as to how.
I
guess it depends on when you start being an athlete too.
That's true.
Before or after development.
And
I guess
just
that's
learning how to deal with it.
Yeah. So good on you guys out there.
Good job, you well-endowed athletes. You
guys rock. Love you guys.
You are what keeps sports
sporting.
I don't know where I'm going with this.
Enough. And
yep, that's the end.
So she's a swimmer.
Yeah, she's a swimmer.
Kind of annoying.
Kind of.
She's also very important to the franchise.
She is.
She loves donuts.
Yeah, and they don't affect her at all.
Yeah.
Which is
very odd.
Everyone comments on that.
Yeah, everyone
how
comments on
she
the fact
eats donuts and she never gains any weight.
Yeah, it's very odd.
I guess that's just an athlete thing, maybe.
She's got some stuff that will come up later in the games when we talk about some of the further games, mainly Ultra Despair Girls.
Yeah, there's a little bit of backstory for her in Ultra Despair Girls that you kind of meet through a different character, but that's for
a later day.
That's another episode. That's another episode.
Stop.
And the
Stop.
game
The game's called Another Episode.
Oh,
I hate
my
this.
God.
This is stupid.
That's funny.
This is part of the tomfoolery we get into.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay.
So the next character is one that I know my sister likes a lot. After she played it, Celestia Ludenberg.
Yes, Celestia, the one with the gigantic ponytails.
There's a name for those.
The really tunnel curl.
The big tunnel. It's like there's an anime term for it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just know that people used to call them drills.
They look like drills.
Because they kind of look like drills.
You know, you're right. They do look like drills. So let's talk about Miss Ludenberg over here.
Miss Ludenberg. She's the only one with a name that isn't
traditionally Japanese sounding.
Yeah, it's very European.
Yeah, it does sound very European. There's not really any characters that have a name like this.
No Karens.
Imagine if they pulled like a Pokemon where they like changed the names.
Yeah, no Karens.
You don't have any
Stacys.
Ash or Misties.
There's no Phils.
Is there anyone else in this franchise that has like an American name like that, or like a European style name?
No,
I don't think there is.
That I think Celestia is the only one.
She's the only one, and hers is very European sounding. So
she's interesting. Her ultimate talent, ability, skill is that she's a gambler,
which is very odd because she's wearing a very maid-looking outfit. So you wouldn't think that her ultimate is being a gambler. Some of these outfits do not match their ultimates at all.
I mean, later they change them up a little bit.
Yeah,
and kind of give them.
It's very interesting.
Give them aspects of what
their ultimate is. But this being the first game and all, they're still finding their footing.
Yeah,
but it works either way.
So she's a gambler.
Very mysterious.
Yeah, at the beginning you don't know much about her. She's very reserved.
She's got a very soft voice at first.
Yeah, she's very to herself.
No, we say at first.
At first.
Please wait for further interaction with Celeste.
Celeste. Celeste.
Celeste. All right. I don't think there's much else to say about her.
For now. Later.
We'll go further into her story.
Yeah, once the game progresses, there's a bit more to her than just that.
Yeah.
Next we have Chihiro Fujisaki.
I love
Chihiro. What a precious bean.
That's my child. I love her so much.
I love her so much.
So, she is the ultimate programmer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Ultimate programmer.
She's very small, kind of shy. She's really smart. She's freaking smart. She's probably smarter than Byakuya, but she's too shy to say anything.
Exactly.
So, anyway.
I love her.
She's fantastic.
She's great.
Yeah.
She grows a lot as a character.
She really does, and I root for her so much. She's also another character that's gonna have some more story in Ultra Despair Girls.
I mean, I don't think it's so much story. It's just a little bit about the people that she interacts with.
I think it builds up on her story a little bit, though.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, there is, because there are those pictures of baby Chihiro.
They're really cute.
They're adorable.
She's really precious, and I really love her. And
she's important.
Please love her. She's great, and her stuff actually comes through all the games mostly.
Yes.
There's going to be stuff about her later on when we talk about something else.
Yeah.
But for now,
she kind of cements herself in this franchise.
She's really kind of the base of this entire franchise if you think about it.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happens because of her.
Keep her in mind. We're realizing a lot of stuff about her as we talk about her.
Some moments, some realization moments.
So Chihiro, very important. V important, capital V.
Okay. I was going to say important doesn't start with a V.
No, V very important.
I can't.
I got that one from one of my teachers.
Great.
Shout out.
Next on our list we have Hifumi Yamada.
I don't like him.
I think he's funny.
You think he's funny? I think he's annoying.
I think he's hilarious.
He is. His ultimate. Let's discuss his ultimate for a second because this is interesting.
What was it?
Like the ultimate fan fiction writer?
It was fan fiction
like
writer.
The ultimate fanboy? I don't know.
Fans. Hold on. I'll
we gotta
double
look at
check.
the proper term for this. Basically, he's extreme. He's the typical.
Yeah, he's
anime.
a fanfic creator.
Yeah, he's very typical. Should I say the word? Should I say
Should you
otaku?
Yeah, he calls himself an otaku, so I mean,
there we go. Yeah,
you're right.
So,
I mean, in the English
dub,
at least. That really doesn't help him at all in this. It doesn't help him with anything. It doesn't give him any magical skills.
He's very not important. He's just there to be kind of snobby, and he's the type of kid who would say, no, obviously in like episode 234 of like One Piece, obviously this character likes that character because of this thing that they just placed their hand on their shoulder for like 5 seconds. You know, that's totally a sign. They totally be that one, like that person.
Yeah, or that person.
I think
like,
that was
you're not an original fan. You didn't
you didn't read the manga. Oh my god!
You didn't read the manga. You didn't.
I have several waifu body pillows at home.
Excuse me, your waifu is trash.
I'm sorry, that's horrible, but that's exactly how he sounds.
Your waifu is trash. I have god tier waifu.
Oh god,
like that's him.
That's basically how he sounds.
That's basically him.
And I'm sorry about that impression, but
you're right.
I'm right. Unfortunately, I don't want to say that he's like that, but that's exactly what he's like.
What he is.
And I feel really sorry because he's not a good character.
I still think he's funny.
You think he's funny? That's pretty much it about him.
There are moments when he's funny.
Yeah, that's pretty much it though.
Let's see who's on the list next. Junko Enoshima. Remember that name.
Please remember Junko
Remember that
Enoshima.
name until the day you die.
Please, you will need to know that name. It will be on the test.
Oh my, you're right. Wait, do I still have thick written on my arm? I don't know why I just went, huh? Wait.
Thick. Last night we were at a Mario Kart tournament and I wrote thick on Jason's arm. I guess because we
were talking about fanboys.
Yeah,
I just had to do it.
I wrote thick on Jason's arm for various reasons. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so we have Junko Enoshima, who is the ultimate
fashionista. Sorry, I was drinking bubble tea.
I'm sorry, I pointed to you at the wrong time.
I just had a mouthful of bubbles. She's the ultimate fashionista.
Sorry.
She's the ultimate fashionista. And she's on... They show a bunch of... At the beginning, when Makoto's creepily stalking them all on social media.
Which, honestly, who wouldn't stalk their, like, famous classmates on social media?
Yeah, that's true.
Let's be real here.
That's
I would
true.
Probably do that. I still kind of do that with certain classmates where I'm just kind of like, I want to see what their art looks like.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, half the people in my year right now because, like, the animation department is very, like, secluded with everyone just kind of hiding in their hovels, and so like there's a bunch of new people, so I kind of looked them up on social media to be like, oh, what does your art look like? And I'm really like, there's so many good artists out there. I wish I knew them before.
Like, exactly.
But anyways, you know, everyone's done it. Everyone's kind of looked up like someone they're curious about. It happens. So Makoto does this.
Makoto in particular, he found out that she's on covers for countless magazines.
A lot of magazines. Like we're a lot. It's a lot.
And like you find them in the school too, so
yeah, it comes up a lot. The fact that she's kind of everywhere, but also Junko Enoshima just comes up a lot. So be prepared.
She's very, very important.
Please, capital V, very important.
Super important.
You're gonna need to know that name for the test.
Exactly.
Please remember that name for the test.
The test. Let's see, who's next? Who do we have next? Kiyotaka Ishimaru, dubbed Taka by everybody because his name is super long.
Yeah, everyone can call him Taka.
He is... What is it?
The ultimate hall monitor?
Moral compass.
Moral compass.
Moral compass? Moral compass? Wait a minute. I'm sitting here just calling him hall monitor man.
We've been calling him hall monitor man for like the past 3 years.
Or like military boy? I don't know.
His outfit is very military-esque.
He's a militant guy.
Yeah, he's even got like a band on his arm that's kind of very like...
That's like a hall monitor.
It's like a hall monitor band. So we thought he was the ultimate hall monitor. And you know, he's always like, halt! You must not run in the hallways! Or like, something stupid.
What was the abridged thing? He's like, this is not suitable for a school environment.
Bro!
Why
did you tell me
you love to yeah. Oh man, we are going off on many different tangents.
Anyway.
He's the ultimate moral compass.
There's not much about him.
There are a lot of times when he kind of calls people out like that's not right, or are you really sure that's appropriate for this line of questioning or whatever? He
really is the moral compass, and he just kind of keeps everyone in line.
Yeah.
He's the Ida Tenya of the group.
Yeah.
For those of you who watch My Hero Academia, rock on end of season 3.
Great.
My favorite character was just introduced. I'm so pleased right now. Anyway.
Yeah, he kind of keeps people on track. He wants to keep things
He's the class president,
unbiased. He's
essentially.
yeah.
He's the
If you
typical
were-
anime class president.
If you were, then it would be class president.
Yeah, exactly.
Next, we have Leon Kawada, which Olivia doesn't know much about.
No, so here's the thing about Danganronpa when we played it the first time. I didn't start off with the game right away. Jason, on the other hand, started playing the game without me because I didn't seem interested in it.
You didn't even know what the game was
I didn't
until
even know
I
what the
told
game
you when I
was.
started
Yeah,
it.
I came home one day and Jason goes, "Olivia, you gotta meet this character named Leon. He's like fantastic and amazing." And then like he started telling me everything that happened in Danganronpa, and I just got hooked. So that kind of roped me into Danganronpa.
Yeah, I kind of
That's
went
how I
off.
ended up
I went
here.
off on the rails about Leon Kawada because I thought he was
yes.
amazing.
That was like your favorite character for like
Yeah.
the longest time.
Yeah, it was.
Up until V2.
up until Danganronpa 2. But I really loved Leon when the game started. He is the ultimate baseball player, and
He doesn't look like it.
yeah, he looks like he
looks like he'd be more of a rock star.
he's got like a punk jacket, a goatee, countless earrings, really long hair.
That's 6 earrings to be exact on one ear.
6 on one ear.
And a piercing right, I don't know what that's called.
Under his lip,
Yeah.
above his chin.
I guess we'll be showing pictures too.
Maybe, yeah.
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 Anyway.
He's a baseball player. There's this whole thing where he doesn't like being a baseball player.
It's
and
kind of sad.
It's really sad. He wants to be a musician, so he wants
Which kind
to,
of explains his punk rock look.
yeah, he's kind of going for the punk rock aesthetic, and he really wants to be a musician.
I believe in Leon.
I believe in him too.
Anyway.
I want the best for him.
Leon is
still want the
top
best for
10
him.
good boy.
Well,
Well, okay,
we'll
we'll go
get to
into
that
more later.
later. Next on the list, we have Manda Uwada.
Oh, corn hair.
You know me and my Yankee boys.
Listen, he's basically Kuwabara. Let's be real.
You know, he is Kazuma Kuwabara.
He is Kazuma Kuwabara. Okay, in the anime, he is voiced by the same person who voices Kuwabara.
Chris. Shout out to Chris.
Shout out to Chris.
Shout out to Chris.
Anyway, it was really funny because we looked up the anime one day and he just showed up again and we were like, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
Yankee boys are Chris Sabat.
It was great.
It's just law.
Absolutely beautiful.
It's law.
It's law.
Chris Sabat is Yankee boy.
This is just how the way the world works.
It's just
I
it's just
don't
how
make
it
the
be
rules.
sometimes. Just how it be.
Just how it be. Anyway,
So he is the ultimate biker in a biker gang.
he's the leader of the biker gang.
Well, he wasn't, but now he is.
For now, he is.
For now, he is.
We'll get into his story later.
Later, because there's more backstory.
Yeah.
He's the ultimate biker. He's an asshole to people.
Except Taka.
Except, well, he's an asshole to Taka, too, at the beginning.
There's a lot we have to unpack.
To that relationship. Two
It's
bros
so good.
sitting in a sauna.
5 feet apart
Because they're not gay.
Okay.
He's great. I love him.
We love him. He's good.
Who do we have after
His hair also looks like corn.
Yeah. His hair does look like corn.
I don't know why. They just made it really curly.
His pompadour is very corn-like.
It is just very corn shaped. I don't understand it.
Corn-shaped pump.
Yeah.
We have Sakura Ugami next.
I love Sakura.
Sakura, okay. For people who are familiar with the game, Punch Mom, am I right?
Punch Mom. She's
Punch Mom.
Punch Mom. She is Zarya. If you like
Overwatch.
she's basically Zarya, but with long white hair and more of a karate style versus a giant gun.
Yeah, she's very boof. Very boof.
Very boof. Who is?
Let's see.
She's very good. We very much like her.
She's ultimate martial artist.
Yes.
Does her family own the dojo, right? That she practiced in?
I don't think so, actually.
Or she...
She's something's relation with her and the dojo master, in which she wants to like protect the dojo and make sure it runs smoothly. Something like that. There's something like that where it's like she's like I think it's almost a Rock Lee scenario.
How so?
Like, you know, like I don't know if she talks about her parents. I don't actually know if the dojo's run by her family, but I know whoever taught her karate, she's very close to them.
Yeah. I mean, anyway, she's the ultimate martial artist, and she buff.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Next, we have Sayaka Maizono. She's
the very first person.
She's one of the first people that you really kind of get to know in the game because she has a connection to the main character. You always have to have that one person. I went to middle school with you.
Yeah, which is basically what she is. That's her whole purpose, essentially. Her purpose is to be the familiar face and to get you through the tutorial.
That's True. Yeah, kind of like that. Kind of like that.
She's that one person that you recognize, so Makoto kind of like can open up to someone.
Which is funny because you didn't play the entire beginning of the game.
I know, but I still understand. Listen,
Yeah.
I know things.
So she's somebody that Makoto went to middle school with, and she is the ultimate pop star, I think.
Pop idol?
Pop sensation.
Pop sensation.
Um,
She's got this girl group. They're cool.
yeah,
I
she has a
guess.
girl group that she probably would die for. Poor choice of words. Poor choice
Anyway,
of words.
we'll go back to that a little later. Poor choice of words. Anyway, so she's
You know, yep.
I don't know. I find her
girl. Pop girl.
just from looking back at the anime and like listening to her talk a bit, she's kind of annoying.
She is annoying.
She also does come back up a
Oh,
lot
Makoto.
because she's gonna become the reason Makoto does a lot of things.
Yeah.
She
kind
like
of.
spurs on a lot of things for Makoto when he
She
thinks
triggers
about
him a lot.
it. Trigger
Yeah, she's
trigger
a
happy
trigger.
havoc.
Oh, you're right, fam. You're right.
Anyways, so that's something. She's not my favorite character in the world.
She's not mine either.
She's just kind of there. She's just kind of the character people forget about when you're listing
for
the
a
characters.
pop sensation. You'd think she'd be memorable, but
Not really.
Not really.
When you're going back and listing the characters, because there's a lot of characters in Danganronpa. When you go back and you list the characters, there's always one you forget, and you know half of the time it's her.
It's her.
It's her.
It's her.
I feel bad about saying that, but it's true. It's her.
Who's Toko Fukawa?
Toko Fukawa. There's a lot to say about
there's
Toko.
There's a lot here. She's very, very important, both
Capital V important. Very
in this
important.
game, future games, sides,
Animes. She's important.
She's important.
She's right up there with Byakuya Tagami and
Well,
she wishes she were up there with Byakuya
she wishes
Tagami.
she was Mrs. Togami. That's like a running theme throughout the entire game, is that she wants to get together with Byakuya.
So bad. The thirst is real on this girl.
She is very thirsty.
She's okay, but her ultimate, because this is kind of important to the fact
she's
that
the ultimate writing prodigy.
yeah, she writes a lot of romance novels.
She writes a lot of romance for somebody who's really scared of social interaction.
and is most likely.
What are you doing?
I'm sorry.
Big V.
Well, you know,
Big
she's got a lot of pent up sexual energy.
Boy, does she.
There's a whole lot going into unpacking that.
No kink shaming in this game.
Oh God, no.
Oh my God, but she's great. There's more to her though than meets the
eye,
eye.
which we'll go into later.
Which in one of the cases you really learn about that, and it kind of defines her character.
It really does, and you know what? It makes her character a lot more interesting because she's very standoffish in the beginning. She doesn't interact.
She still is later. But
she still is later, but
she learns.
Yeah, she learns, and she kind of has to. She's also just very important.
Yeah.
Very important for later.
That's pretty much all we have on about her.
Yeah, because we'll get into her.
Yasuhiro Hagakure.
Weed boy.
It's not even specified if he smokes or not.
He does.
But I'm pretty sure he would.
He's the ultimate psychic.
Yeah, I think there was another word.
But he's only
for it.
right.
Clairvoyance.
33.
Clairvoyance.
Oh, ultimate clairvoyance. But he's only right 33% of the time.
Oh yeah.
33%. Because remember, 3 choices. there's a whole lot to
He's
him.
partially correct. I guess there were clairvoyants out there that just were less than 33% of the time.
I guess. But it's just really funny because we realized at one point in the game that the whole reason...
Something that he says at the beginning.
It's the fact that he says 33%, and then we realized most of the choices in the game are 3 options.
Are options in 3s.
So you would have a 30%. No, it was the way it was set up. You would have a 30% chance.
Yeah, you have a 30% chance of
getting the right answer.
Of something. Of fulfilling
a certain prophecy.
His prophecy that he gives to you.
Which is very interesting.
If you choose to spend some of your free time talking to him, and then he gives you this.
That's another thing we forgot to mention.
Yeah.
That you get free time talking.
Just free
to people.
time, but yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
That's not even. That's
it's
kind
not
of like if you want to learn more.
Yeah.
Spend your time wisely figuring out the characters you want to figure out.
Yeah, we'll plug that in at the end.
That's different.
Yeah.
So he's the ultimate clairvoyant. He was held. I think he said he was held back 2 years. So he's older than
he's
everybody.
the oldest student.
He's the oldest student
Because
and
he
it
was held
shows he's just a hobo dad.
He is hobo dad. He's also very tall. I did not realize how tall
How tall
Hagakure
is
was.
he?
Isn't he like
How tall is Hiro?
6'3"?
Is he?
I don't. Hagakure is very tall. Hang on.
Oh my god!
Let's look him up.
I can just click on him right here. I have him open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 6 feet.
Wait, 6 foot flat?
Yeah, 6 foot flat.
He's as tall as Togami then.
Is he really?
Yeah. Byakuya Togami
How tall is
6 foot.
Byakuya?
Byakuya Togami 6'1".
No.
That can't be.
No, what? It's the hair.
It's the hair.
It's Hiro's hair.
Hero's hair. Hero's
That's
actually
exactly
very
what it
short. I lied.
Very short for a 6 foot tall man.
Okay, listen. Hero has a lot of hair.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, he's
kind of goofy.
he's goofy.
He's that bro friend.
I feel really bad because a lot of the things that happen to him in this game are just.
It's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate because
It's just an unfortunate set of
he'll
circumstances.
just take it.
Yeah.
He'll just take it.
That's the thing with Hero. He just kind of goes with the flow, even if the flow is wrong.
That's pretty much who he is.
Yeah, that's about it. But he's also important, so keep him in mind.
So those are the students. And
Is that all of them?
Yeah.
Is that really all of them?
Yeah.
We're not missing anyone?
No.
Holy frick.
No. We're not missing anyone.
Oh.
Nobody.
Okay.
We're not missing anyone. And last but not least, though, we have the teacher.
Yes.
Teacher, principal.
The mascot of Danganronpa.
The mascot of Danganronpa.
He haunts my nightmares.
Does he?
Not really.
Okay, that's a lie. That's a lie.
That's a lie. But honestly, if he was the original design they had intended him to be,
the original design scares the
he
living
would have
crap out
haunted
of
my
me.
memories.
But
and my
he
dreams.
doesn't now because he's kind of cute, kind of cuddly.
You know, except for that one time we heard him via. No, that was Bill. Dang it, never mind.
Oh, yeah, no, that was something
JK,
different.
never mind.
So the mascot is named Monokuma.
He's a
And
bear.
He's a bear. He's a plush bear.
He's a black and white bear, half black, half white. He's got a red eye that looks like a little zigzag lightning bolt thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the mascot of Danganronpa, of the entire Danganronpa franchise. No matter where you go in the Danganronpa
he's
franchise,
there.
this bear will follow you.
This bear will be there.
He will be. He will be bear.
He will be bear.
Be bear. Anyway, I hate that.
He will be
These
bear.
bad jokes are just gonna keep coming.
Yeah.
They're very, very awful.
Sorry, bear with us.
Anyway.
Yeah, so he doesn't have an ultimate because he's the principal, the teacher, the
The
head
gray
honcho.
hairs.
He's not gray hairs.
In the anime, he is.
Oh, the anime he is, but not in the game.
Not you, no. But anyway, he just kind of makes... So he's the one who will tell us the rules of the game. He's going to be the one who, in the very beginning, when everyone is all finally, like, put together in one room, I think it's the gymnasium, actually, he comes out and he pops up and everyone's like, oh my god, a talking bear! And you're just kind of like, oh, what? We're supposed to be scared of this thing? And
A bear?
A bear? Be very afraid of the bear. Be afraid of the bear.
Afraid.
Be very, very afraid. I'm sorry, I had to. He's giving me this look like I've killed someone. Anyway.
I'm barely keeping it together.
Enough. So anyway, so he's going to tell you all the rules of how this game is played. Essentially, the rules of the game are you are trapped with these other students and you have to survive. You must kill the other students. So, you will have, once a body's been discovered.
Good God.
You will hear that. A body's been discovered, and you will know if someone has died. Then a class trial will be put into place, and someone will be deemed the blackened by the end of the trial. The blackened is the one who did the murder. If you get the blackened correct, you all survive for another day. If you do not, everyone but the blackened dies. And
so your goal is to be the last person
to survive.
To basically survive.
Now, along the way, you're given motives to keep killing.
It's from Monokuma to kind of instigate a murder of some kind to keep this murder game going.
These things can range from.
Well, we could talk about them when we get to the specific cases.
Very true. So then why not dive right into the first
Yeah,
case?
why not get started? The game starts. We talked before. You meet all the other students. They tell you a little bit about themselves, and you're kind of thrown into this world of why are we trapped in a school? What's going on? Why are the doors closed? Why are the windows locked? Why are they bolted? Why can't we get out? Why don't we know what's going on? Why can't we remember what happened before we were thrown into this school?
That's another thing we forgot to mention.
Their memories are gone.
No one knows what happened from the moment they walked into the school to now. Basically, they're all walking in. They just know who they are and what their ultimate is, except for Kyoko. And
Yeah, except for Kyoko, who either doesn't know or doesn't want to tell.
We don't know at this point.
We don't know. She just didn't tell.
She just didn't tell us. So, we don't know what her ultimate is. But other than that, nobody remembers the
Anything.
events that led up to this moment or why they're there. So,
Everyone's kind of starting fresh.
yeah. And then you have a whole bunch of time where you get to talk to the other students, learn a little more about them. This is something that happens throughout the game, in between trials and things like that. And then we jump right into the first trial with the first murder.
Yeah, so the first murder, I said before there's going to be spoilers, so prepare for us to just kind of say everything right here, right now.
This is the massive spoilers.
This is massive spoilers. So the first case that actually kind of gets everything started, because these kids don't believe that they're going to murder people. They don't think anybody in this room would be a cold-blooded killer.
They kind of really trust each other off the bat.
They do.
Which is very odd for
Because
a bunch of teenagers.
For a bunch of teenagers, they put so much trust and faith into each other that they're not going to submit to this murderous game.
Remember, they're all like freshmen in high school, which means they're like 15, 16 years old because
Yeah,
Japan
maybe.
starts school. Japan's only like 3 years in high school, so they start a year later.
Yeah, I think so. I don't exactly know how old they would be, but
I think they're 15,
basically
16.
they don't think that anybody's going to kill anybody until
Someone
there's a murder.
does.
Until there's a murder.
A body's been discovered.
There's a flat out murder. And before, when we were talking about characters, Sayaka Mizuno, the pop sensation
Who would
girl,
die for her
who would die for her girl group, ends up dead. She bites the dust immediately.
She's found in a closet.
No, she's found in the main character, Makoto Naegi. She's found in his bathroom in the shower.
There's blood behind her.
There's
and
some
there's
weird
blood
writing on the wall.
We don't know what the writing's on the wall.
She writes something on the wall in blood.
We don't know
She's
what
been
that is.
stabbed.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Everyone's going nuts.
Everyone's like, who could have possibly done this?
It's unbelievable that somebody actually murdered somebody, but there's a little bit of a motive here. There were DVDs, and Olivia doesn't really know this because she didn't play this entire first case.
Guilty as charged.
Up through the trial.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of DVDs that Monokuma presented to the students that are video testimonies of people back home. So family members, friends, mentors, Sayaka's girl group, people that are close to these kids.
A lot of people.
Just people that are close to these kids. And it's one of those things that because these kids can't get out, they don't know if their families and friends are safe. They don't know if they're going to be okay. They don't know if they're worried about them. And then Monokuma uses this as a threat. He threatens the people that are in this video, and he basically says, if there's no murder, these people are going to die. I'm going to hurt the people that you love the most. And that kind of resonates with these kids, and Sayaka goes nuts. She goes insane. She gets scared, she gets nervous, she runs away, she's freaking out, she's panicking because she doesn't want anything to happen to her girl group. And because of that, she takes action.
Yep.
She wants to be the one to survive. And
She
because
needs
of
everything you need to survive.
and because of that, she reaches out to somebody to try and get them alone in order to kill them. But not only that, she switches rooms with Makoto in order to lure that person to Makoto's room and pin the blame on somebody else. So that they'll all vote somebody else. They'll be wrong, they'll all die, and she'll walk free.
I stand by my statement. I don't like Sayaka.
You didn't like her before.
No, I didn't. I still don't like her. I'm just saying, she's awful.
She's terrible.
She's awful.
But what actually happens is the person that she intends to kill ends up killing her instead. And it kind of throws her own plan into whack because now she's been murdered.
She literally died for her pop group.
She's been murdered. And the whole case goes by. Everyone's frantically trying to figure it out. Everyone thinks it's Makoto right off the bat because it happened in his room. And everyone's like, Makoto.
It's like you knew her from middle school.
And you know her the best. So
yeah.
it would make sense that, he's just killing a person that he knows. But no. There's more to this story than you think.
There's a lot more to this story, folks.
And when you get down to it in the trial, everything kind of goes into whack. And the way the trials work is it's quick-paced. You're given so many pieces of evidence that you find throughout your exploration of the crime scenes, and you can use those pieces of evidence to kind of combat people's statements regarding the events of...
The truth bullets.
Yeah, they're called truth bullets, and you can select them, and you can visualize some of the phrases that people are saying. It's in this debate, and you kind of fire your truth bullets at the certain phrases to kind of agree with them, disagree with them. Well, I mean, the agreeing comes later in a different game that kind of changed the mechanics of the game. But in this
each
one,
game, there's a new component to the trials.
In this one specifically, you're just disagreeing with what people say.
You must find the truth.
Because you're bringing the truth to light by taking people's statements and accounts.
And, like, different things you found during the investigation period. So different, like, pieces of evidence, things like, for instance, this case had blood on the wall, so we took that into account because there was weird writing on the wall in blood. And
there was somebody who said, what do these numbers mean? So you can use the things that you've learned to kind of unveil the truth.
The numbers.
The numbers on the wall that...
113.
7. No, 7 was the first or the last one.
Yeah, 1130.
11037. That's what it was. That's actually something that comes up in a later game too. Just as a nod.
Keep that in mind.
As a nod, it's really cool. But those numbers are actually the final clue that brings to light who this killer is. And it's Leon Kawada. He's the baseball guy who...
Flip those numbers around, folks.
Yeah, if you flip them upside down, she was trying to spell Leon before she died. And that basically... it convicts him. He's the murderer.
It's Leon Kawada.
And then you're introduced to the whole mechanic of punishment time.
Yeah.
Which is crazy in itself.
Oh, yeah.
Each blackened individual who is convicted of murder and found guilty is subjected to something called punishment time, which is Monokuma murdering them for murdering somebody else in a way that's specifically related to their ultimate ability or their talent or their skill or something like that. So Leon dies through, I forget what it's called. It's like 1,000
blows.
1,000 blows or something. And I think that's what it's called. I don't remember.
He's basically tied up to a post.
And shot with baseballs until he dies.
But the thing is, here's the thing about the murders, the deaths, the blackened deaths,
the
punishments that really get me is how they animate it. Because these deaths are animated before you, so you see them happen. But the thing is, everything is very heavily puppeted, so it almost looks childish.
Yeah.
And so you've got this death happening, right? You see the shadow of Leon Kawada being tied and struggling against the ropes to, like, all the baseballs flying at him at high speed. Like, I looked this up afterwards because Jason had to show me it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was crazy.
I couldn't believe it.
And it was just wild because you get these baseballs flying at each other. Like, they're hurtling. But everything has this sort of cartoonish look to it. So you're just kind of like a little confused, but also very impressed, but also very terrified for your life.
Yeah, because you're not prepared for that to happen. You're just expecting them to just leave
and take him away.
Yeah, just they're voted off the island type deal. But no, they are voted right off the island.
You die.
You die.
The thing about this game is that it really is life or death for these kids, and I think this case really puts that into light.
You're not safe.
Yeah,
you can't do nothing that you do to try and escape will really matter, because if you're not really careful with how you execute a murder, then people are going to figure you out and you're going to die as a result.
That's just the way it works here.
And that sets the tone for the rest of the game.
Really. Yeah.
Because now you know that the stakes are high.
The stakes are really high, guys.
Speaking of stakes,
boy howdy.
There's a death in between the first and second case.
That's very important.
That's important for the very end of the game.
As well as just instilling the fact that one of the rules of the game is that you cannot defy Monokuma. Or you will die.
And
one of the girls.
Yeah, Junko Enoshima, who is the ultimate fashionista, She tries to fight Monokuma because she goes a little crazy too. Mm-hmm. She can't believe that she just watched somebody die, and she doesn't want to be a part of this game anymore, as does anyone else who's participating.
No one wants to anymore.
And she tries to fight Monokuma, which results in her own death. She is stabbed multiple times with these big pikes, these big, just metal rods.
It's
are
wild.
Just thrust through her, and she's kind of skewered up a little bit, and it's just right there in the gymnasium in front of everybody, unprompted. Well, I mean, it's prompted. But,
it's prompted, but like still, she's just flat out.
She's just killed.
Gone.
She's just killed, and there's no trial because Monokuma's the one that killed her.
Yeah, so you can't. There's no way to fight any of this.
Yeah, you can't even investigate anything. She's just gone.
That's it.
Just
dead.
Out.
Bye.
Out of the game. Bye. And,
so that's pretty much it for Junko Enoshima.
Yeah, I think right after that is when Monokuma introduces the second motive for murder, which comes in the form of small envelopes containing a deep, dark secret. That everyone gets one with their name written on it, and each one contains a deep, dark secret that somebody doesn't want to be found out by anybody else in the school. And this is the prompt because some people have secrets that they don't want found out at all.
Yeah. Like,
ever.
At all. This is like, you cannot know about this, otherwise I may freak out. Which happens.
Which means that, like, this is a perfect motive, because some people will kill to keep their secret safe. Which leads to...
Murder number two.
So we were talking earlier about Chihiro Fujisaki.
Our small being.
Our small programming being.
We love her so much.
She ends up strung up
in the girls' locker room.
No, it was the
girls' locker room.
No, it was the boys' locker room.
It was the boys' locker room?
Yeah, she was in the boys' locker room. Yeah.
No, remember?
Yeah,
she was strung up in the girls' locker room. Yes.
No, because she was moved.
No, because of that whole thing.
Oh, what? Wait.
She was in the girls.
No.
She was killed in the boys and moved to the girls.
Was it?
Yes.
Wait, I flipped. No.
You flipped it.
I flipped it?
You flipped it.
I flipped it.
You flipped it.
I flipped
it. She's murdered in the boys and moved to the girls. But they believe she was killed in the girls' locker room.
Oh, you're right. I'm an idiot.
Because there's something important.
Because of Chihiro's secret.
This is
We'll get to that. We'll get to
part.
that secret in a minute.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Chihiro's strung up on. It's
very odd because she's like strung up like the cross almost, but like it's like she's hanging.
A little bit, yeah. But the whole reason for that is because it's meant to imitate the style of the string of murders. Kind of in this world there is a serial killer.
There's a serial killer on the loose in this world, unrelated to the school at all. It's just something that's been happening around.
But somehow Byakuya knows.
Of course, Byakuya
somehow
knows. There's a murderer going around named Genocide Jack.
Well, in the Japanese version, some people call this serial killer Genocider Show.
Yeah.
So there's Genocider Show, Genocide Jack. Because we played it in English, we're gonna say Genocide Jack or Genocide Jill, and just hold on a minute. It's fine. Is
it?
It's fine.
Okay.
So anyway, there's this whole thing with the serial killer, and the murder is very reminiscent of the way that Genocide Jack handles their own murder, like all these murders that they commit.
Yes. And
Byakuya just assumes that this serial killer is on the loose and killing people in the school. Now, maybe that's true, maybe that's not. We find out later that it is not true, and there are a list of specifications as to why a person would die at the hands of Genocide Jack.
And this is not one of them.
This is definitely not one of those situations. But the whole thing with this murder is linked to those secrets that want to be left alone.
Unknown. Yeah.
Left unknown. And in this case, we find out Chihiro's secret through investigation. Very in-depth.
It is a very in-depth...
Very...
Like, almost right off the bat, though, we find out from after...
It's... isn't it Sakura who
Sakura
figures that out?
goes up because Byakuya told tells
Yeah.
Sakura. So
We
here's
find
the
out-
thing
we
about
find out
our little precious child, Chihiro.
is that Chihiro is actually a boy.
Chihiro has been posing as a girl for the longest time because he felt that he wasn't strong enough or manly enough to be a man, so he figured it would be easier and not to be picked on if he was a girl.
Yeah, which I mean, we've had long conversations.
We've had very
We've
in-depth
had long
conversations.
conversations about like how Chihiro feels about themselves, about identity. We've
delved
game
into this.
because the game doesn't really do much of that. Oh, there goes your pen.
Oh no.
The game doesn't really talk much about that, and it's definitely a topic of conversation that you could go on about, because is it a case of gender identity? Is it a case of gender preference? Is it a case of just confusion?
We're not entirely sure, but we're respecting their feelings.
Yeah,
and
so we'll stick with they them
for now.
pronouns for Chihiro.
So we really only stuck with her pronouns in the beginning to keep it a mystery.
Yeah, we just kept it a mystery for now, but
for now we'll be using they.
Yeah. So they were just killed because the murderer found out about their secret
and kind of freaked out about it, honestly.
and freaked out. Yeah, because again, it triggered the murderer to remember their own secret.
Should we just say who the murderer is? Because I think it's important for how
It's toxic masculinity.
It's toxic masculinity. It's Mondo.
It's Mondo Owada, who's the ultimate biker.
And his story is really actually tragic.
It is, because originally he wasn't the leader of his own biker gang. It was his brother.
His older brother.
His older brother.
His brother was the one who
Daya.
constantly
Daya was his brother.
Daya. So his older
it was
brother.
Daya and Mondo.
Yeah.
Diamondo.
Diamondo. And then so his brother is very you must be a man. You gotta make sure you take charge and do this and do that.
And he kind of in this weird roundabout way looked up to his brother.
It was very odd because I think he was a strong masculine influence on him,
Mm-hmm.
and of course being a child and like growing up around it, he took it on and like adopted it as his own, and like it's like big bro, wow, that's so
Bro code.
wow, ace.
bro
code.
So yeah, there's this whole thing with he looked up to his brother. He respected his brother, even though his brother was
Toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity. And there was an unfortunate situation in which he was racing his brother, and his brother was killed on the road
by like an oncoming car or something.
It was a truck or something.
It was a truck.
And his brother died, and he was put in place as the new leader of this gang.
Yeah.
And I personally, I don't think he was ready.
He wasn't. He was not ready.
He wasn't ready.
This kid's like 15 years old, 14, 15 years old. And he's in charge of this gang.
And he's scary because he's going above and beyond to try and be the kind of person that his brother was. But at the same time,
can't be.
He doesn't understand how to be in charge.
It's very interesting.
And he just becomes too, again, toxic for his own good.
So when Chihiro comes by and tells Mondo their secret that they're not actually a girl, then
Mondo goes crazy because
he can't understand it.
He can't understand the fact that somebody would
try and hide. Because Chihiro actually went in to ask Mondo how to be tougher. Yeah,
Chihiro was going to Mondo to basically tell him their secret and then work to be comfortable with themselves. Which was extremely wholesome for a game like this.
Wholesome. They're very wholesome people. And honestly, this murder was very tragic for me because it was just it was just such a confusing time because it was almost like it was an accident.
Yeah. And I mean,
but like
murder is not it's I don't know how to explain it. It's weird.
Because it was almost like shaken baby syndrome. But like no, JK.
Shaken baby with a dumbbell.
I know. I forgot how he killed them for a second.
Shaken baby with a dumbbell.
I'm sorry. But I forgot that. But he kind of freaks out.
He freaks out and
ends up killing Chihiro.
And just out of rage and confusion for the whole situation, kills Chihiro.
Which is really tragic and unfortunate. But what I still think is very, like,
noble
of him is the fact that he carried Chihiro's body into the girls' locker room
to hide that secret for them
because he's a man and is like.
And what was it? It was
he's like
a
secret
between. It was a
secret between men.
A secret between men. Yeah.
Which honestly kind of touched my heart, even though he killed Chihiro.
Even though he killed Chihiro, he still honored the fact that Chihiro told him their secret, and
which is very conflicting.
It's very conflicting
so
because Mondo didn't mean to do it.
He did, bro. Why didn't you tell me you loved to yiff?
That's the abridged. That's the abridged series.
Anyway, but yeah, so Mondo is guilty of this whole entire thing, and he's crying about it. He feels awful.
At the same time, during the entire free period that you have, he's learning to
be comfortable
with himself as well, which is in a weird roundabout way. He's learning that he doesn't have to be.
Is this also the one with the sauna bit?
Yeah, this is. I have it right here.
The sauna. There's a point where Taka.
But during the case of the trial, he basically broed it out with Taka,
which is basically true.
So was it?
You just Taka. We call him Taka.
Ishimaru. Kiyotaka Ishimano. Ishimondo. That's
Ishimondo. That's the ship name.
So basically, he learns to kind of be friends with Taka, who is the moral compass guy.
They're big bros, and
they're big bros.
They're big bros.
They just buddy it out.
They bro it out a lot, and it's very pure and wholesome and good. And
in a fun canonical fact.
Yes, this fun canonical fact that I absolutely love. Wait, we should bring it up after the next case.
You're right, fam. You're right.
Okay, well, we'll take up this fact after the next case, and
You're right.
But anyway, for now,
so it's unfortunate that it came to this, and that
this happened.
That Chihiro's dead. Mondo, he's super guilty.
He's super guilty. He feels really awful about it.
Well, he's guilty because he murdered somebody, but he feels internally guilty about the fact that he killed somebody.
Yeah.
He killed somebody he didn't mean to when someone was coming to him because they trusted him. Like, there was trust there.
Yeah.
And then it was just a betrayal of trust.
It's so sad.
And it led to murder.
Yeah. In the end, it's always murder.
This case was really great because it brought up two characters, kind of.
I'd say characters.
Sort of. Because it revealed Chihiro's legacy, basically, in the form of a modified laptop containing an AI known as Alter Ego, which
it's Chihiro.
It's Chihiro
living on as an
AI.
And they become super important, especially in the next game.
Because they're constantly learning about things.
Yeah, so they're adapting.
They adapt constantly.
Yeah.
So Alter Ego is super important.
Please keep them in mind. This is why Chihiro is super important throughout the majority of Danganronpa.
Because they created Alter Ego.
Yeah. And Alter Ego becomes like a huge point in especially DR2.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially DR2.
The end of DR2. Very important.
Because it's only lightly touched upon in DRV3.
Kind of.
Very slightly.
Very slightly. Not really.
Yes. So anyway, this is...
Alter Ego is revealed at the end of the case.
Yeah.
Because they
find a laptop.
They find a laptop in the bathroom, the sauna room.
Yeah.
And then we also figure out the identity of Genocide Jack.
Yes. Genocide Jack. Remember them? Remember how we said that was just like kind of a myth that was like going around the town?
And they thought that somebody who strung up Chihiro was just a fan of Genocide Jack and wanted to replicate the deaths. Turns out Genocide Jack is real and is hanging out in the school with everybody.
What are the odds?
In the form of a split identity of one of the characters. So you all remember that romantic antisocial author, Toko Fukawa?
Guess what, folks?
Guess what? Toko's a serial killer.
Long story short,
a serial killer.
Toko's a serial killer. She goes by Genocide Jill. Genocide Jill, although Genocide Jack seems to be the legend that's going around.
Yeah. Or Genocide or Show, as some people say.
Yeah, Genocide or Show. So when you see this alter ego of Genocide Jill, which is the one name we're going to use for this,
Genocide Jill.
it is, she turns around basically, and her hair gets a little frizzier, and her pigtail pony braids, whatever she has.
She pulls out scissors because she kills people with scissors.
And she has a lizard tongue.
She does have a lizard tongue.
And like she gets a little angry and kind of psychotic, and it's really funny. But then she changes whenever she sneezes.
Yeah, when she sneezes or when she sees blood and passes out.
Yes,
because
and that's how we found out.
Because Toko is afraid of blood.
Yeah, Toko's afraid of blood.
And
that's important.
Yeah, that's interesting. And so there's this whole split personality where some things happen and then she might change into Genocide Jack. But there's this whole thing where Genocide Jack can remember things and Toko can remember things, but they don't share the same memories.
It's interesting.
Yeah, so Genocide Jack comes in handy later on when they're trying to figure out things that, because technically Genocide Jack didn't lose her memories.
Yes.
About everything that happened before getting to the school and getting into the situation.
Yeah,
so that's extremely helpful for the rest of the group.
She knows some things that's going to be very interesting later on.
And that's very, very helpful.
And so we're going to move on into the next case.
Case 3. Case 3 is when you get a little bit more information about what really what's going on here.
Because this is the time where we start finding pictures.
We start finding these weird, mysterious photos of the people in the class that have already died. And
not only that,
but they're grouped together and they're having a good time. They're smiling, they're enjoying each other's company.
Like it looks like they've been in school for some time enjoying each other's presence.
Or they were just somewhere else, or they're just hanging out. So there's all these questions about, are they alive? What do they know each other?
Are they just hanging out in some weird
place? Have they
place?
not died and this is just a dream?
How did we get these pictures?
But where are these pictures coming from?
There are some pictures that show up that still have people who are in the building right now who are really? Still technically alive. Yeah, remember?
No.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Oh,
not yet.
Not yet. But there will be. I'm
Soon.
Sorry. My bad. My mistake.
But
like, because there's Mondo,
Leon, and Chihiro.
And they're all together, and they're smiling, they're happy.
Well, that's later, but...
but it's a really cute photo, if you guys look
adorable.
up the photos.
It's adorable. Actually, we'll probably put it in.
Yeah, we'll probably put the link.
So, it's after this that the groups start to break down, basically. It's because certain characters start going crazy. Certain characters don't know what's going on. Certain characters don't want another murder to happen, because this is the second murder.
They're like, guys, we need to get out of here ASAP, now.
They're really
They're
worried
freaking out. They're panicking.
because they're afraid they're going to be next.
Yeah, they don't want to die, and honestly, that's a valid feeling.
And one of the most important things about this third case, is that Taka, who was really good friends with Mondo, just found out that his most recent bro murdered somebody.
He's in denial of everything right now,
and he doesn't really participate in the entirety of this little free time.
He kind of locks himself in his room.
Yeah, he locks himself up, and when he is present, he's silent. He doesn't say anything. He
literally is just kind of staring off into space, and you start freaking out for him.
He goes off the rails a little bit,
just a tad.
Because this is around the time that everyone's out to get Alter Ego.
Yes,
because Alter Ego. It's this weird thing, but Alter Ego, when they see somebody or when they learn about somebody, they can alter their voice and appearance.
I totally forgot about this. The whole thing with Mondo.
The fact that Alter Ego took on the persona of Mondo for a little bit to kind of console Taka, and he went nuts.
He flipped out. Oh
my God. He went nuts because basically Alter Ego was saying things like, it's okay, it happened, bro. You're surviving, so survive for me. And Taka went off the rails again and had this weird Super Saiyan fusion.
I'm gonna go Super Saiyan.
Where
his hair turns white. His eyes turn red.
And he basically is imbued with the hype of Mondo Owada and their bro relationship. And suddenly he's just hype, and he's decided that he's gonna save everybody, and everything's gonna be great, and they're all gonna live, and they're all gonna leave, and everything's.
I'm gonna live till I die.
And this is around the time that the next motive is introduced, and you might think that it's Alter Ego, but you would be incorrect.
Hey, you'd be severely wrong.
The next motive that Monokuma brings up to these students is money.
Oh yeah, money.
Which is because like why don't you just show?
Money.
Which is just stacks of cash.
It's just, hey guys, if you murder someone, you can get all this money.
All this money will be yours if you murder somebody.
And then lo and behold, wouldn't you know it, a body's been discovered.
Somebody is murdered. Somebody is murdered.
Wow.
And fun fact, it's isn't it Hifumi first?
Hifumi,
Yeah, it's Hifumi.
It's Hifumi, and everyone's like, what the frick?
It's the fanfic creator, and you find him just
Lying there.
lying in the nurse's office.
Yeah.
And you're like,
With a blow to his head.
with a blow to his head and a hammer,
Yeah.
large hammer.
A large, silly-looking hammer.
Yeah, it's a really weird looking
It's a
hammer.
strange-looking hammer.
And you do find the camera? You find the camera?
The camera's hidden
It's hidden in the rec room, right?
when you're searching around. Because halfway through investigation, lo and behold, a body's been discovered.
No. But you find the camera and you see that Hifumi was kidnapped by a robot.
Yeah.
He's kidnapped by this robot, which they've deemed Robo Justice because apparently. So apparently, Robo Justice is in this comic or
This
something
giant
a
Gundam.
show that Hifumi watches. At least that's what I think it is. I don't know.
I'm pretty
It's been
sure
a while.
it's
It's been 2 years.
Yeah.
And he was kidnapped by Robo Justice. So you don't know who's in the suit, but there's photo evidence that there's a robot wandering around the school
And then
kidnapping
there's
people.
a scream. And all of a sudden,
There's a scream, and then a
body's
body has
been
been discovered.
discovered.
There's a second body, and it is up in like the sciencey lab.
I have no idea where it is.
It's like in the back room of the science lab.
Somewhere.
And it is Taka. So
Taka
it
is dead.
The moral compass, he's dead. He didn't really get to avenge anything.
It was upsetting.
Yeah, he just
We
kind
were kind of mad about that.
I felt bad. But he was also killed by a hammer.
We were very confused.
There was a second hammer.
Because then when you go back,
You go back to
Hifumi's
the nurse's office to find Hifumi, and
he's gone. And you're
So-
like, where? And then you go and find him. Where is he?
He's in the art room.
He's in the art room, dead.
Dead.
Again.
But he was like alive kind of when you get there, and he's like, "Oh, guys, I'm dying.
What?
Listen, I gotta whisper something to you. Hagakure." And then he dies.
Yeah.
So the name Hagakure can be attributed to the crazy weed grandpa guy.
Yasuhiro Hagakure.
He's not a grandpa, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yasuhiro Hagakure, the clairvoyant.
The oldest student at Hope's Peak Academy.
So with the name Hagakure, you're like, oh my god, he just named the murderer.
What the frick?
But where is he?
Where did Hiro go? Yeah, because Hiro's
You
like
haven't-
missing this entire time.
you haven't seen Hiro the entire time.
And you kind of realize this. You're like, wait a minute.
Hiro's not here.
What?
Where did he go?
Where's Hiro?
But you do find him later by the pool.
He's just chilling.
He's just chilling, stuck in the Robo Justice suit.
We're like, Hiro, what the frick?
Like, why are you in the Robo suit? And he's like,
I don't
I just the suit. And I put
Guess
it on.
I just was here.
And I just woke up.
Must have been sleepwalking, man.
He's like, yeah, I just woke up in a suit, and
You're just kinda like- You're just kind of like a Hiro. What the frick?
Hiro, what's the deal with you? And
Yeah.
we're like, hey, Hiro, are you going around murdering people? And he's like, no. He's like, I was trying to get someone to help me get this suit off because I'm stuck.
It's like, but how'd you get in there in the first place?
He doesn't remember.
Yeah, exactly.
But-
so from there,
you're like, okay, but then he said Hagakure, so it's gotta be Hiro. There's no one
Obviously.
else named Hagakure at the school. That makes no sense.
well, then we've got the trial.
Then we've got the whole trial, where you find out that somebody isn't who they say they are.
Dun dun dun.
I mean, at least name-wise.
Well, yeah,
you
there-
find out that
there's a lot of liars.
Celestia Ludenberg's name isn't Celestia Ludenberg.
Wow, the European name? Oh, there's like 2 more European names I just remembered. Sonia.
Oh, shit. You're right. But, like, there's this whole thing with Celeste, and you find out that it doesn't have her, like, actual name here.
It's not actually there.
Yeah, it should be here. Someone's screaming in the hallway. You find out that her last name is actually Hagakure, which is the same one as Hiro.
And you're like, what? You guys are related? But turns out they're not.
Yeah. Oh, I have Yeah, something like that. I don't know. But yeah. So they say Hagakure, and that's like her name. And so you find out
Kimi no na wa.
that technically Hifumi was right in naming his killer.
We just got it wrong.
But that also shows that Celeste killed 2 people
Yeah.
by using one to kill the other and then killing off her assistant.
Yeah.
Because
Celeste is evil.
she used Hifumi as like bait, basically,
it was basically
to
bait.
get them away from Taka,
so she could go murder Taka.
who was killed earlier.
Yeah.
And then when she met up with Hifumi, she killed Hifumi, and that was that.
Did they ever say a body's been discovered for Ifumi the first time?
No.
You're right. I messed up.
Because they found them at the same time.
They found
Taka
him.
and Hifumi at the same time.
Yeah.
And so they mistook the body thing. So when they found Hifumi the second time, they announced it again.
Yeah, and we were like, "What? That doesn't make sense." That's why we were confused.
It was strange.
Anyway.
So there's all of that happening, and that's when Celeste starts to break down.
Yeah.
You find out that she's
Pure evil.
Pure evil, and
she's awful.
And she wanted to kill people because money. Who doesn't want money? She wants to buy a mansion and fill it with sexy vampire butlers.
Basically.
That's all she wants. She just wants sexy vampire butlers to give her foot massages and make her food, and then she can just kick back and have a good time.
Having a good time.
Which I find really funny because the fan base, they always see that and they're like, yeah, valid. Like,
valid.
Oh,
it's
sure,
like,
great, awesome.
Really?
You'd murder somebody for vampire butlers. That's just her aesthetic. Dark goth. That's her aesthetic. This leads directly into the 4th and probably most depressing out of all the cases in this game.
Oh my god, this was absolutely the worst case of this game.
Well, it starts off where you figure out there's a spy.
Yes.
There's a spy in your class that's working with Monokuma.
The legendary.
Well, there's this
Who's
basically going around who's taking the information that you talk about among your group, and they're basically telling Monokuma everything that you guys talk about.
It's the mole.
There's a mole.
There's a mole
in your class, and you find out who this person is, without them realizing it.
Yeah.
And you find out that mole is Sakura, who is the martial artist.
It's so sad
because you find her fighting Monokuma.
Yeah.
To basically break this contract they have between them. Because she doesn't want to betray anybody. She wants everyone to survive just as much as she wants to survive.
Yeah.
So she's fighting Monokuma in order to get that contract, that deal between them severed so she can help us. And people don't believe that.
Yeah, it's a whole deal of like who believes who's actually like good, who's really bad. This is kind of the point where everyone starts turning on each other, and you can't trust anyone at this point besides Kirigiri.
Yeah, she's the only one you can really trust.
Yeah, so this entire time you've been able to trust Kirigiri. Have we figured out Kirigiri's ultimate yet? By this point,
no,
we kind of just forgot.
So. I don't remember when you figure that out, but
we'll discuss it a little later.
That's a little later.
We'll discuss it by the end of the
by the next case. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
So Sakura kind of tells everybody that she was a former spy for Monokuma and that she's broken that bond with him, and now she's on your side and she's willing to help however necessary.
I love Sakura. She's a great character.
Unfortunately.
This is the part that sucks the most.
Unfortunately, the next victim of the murder game is Sakura herself. And
it's so sad.
It's really sad because she basically apologizes for everything that she's done. Mm-hmm. And in order to kind of make amends for that, she reaches out to a bunch of people, sends them letters that just says, meet me here at this time. And she intended on talking to them and just kind of telling them what she's about, all this, whatever. And they don't believe her. They don't believe that she's there to be a friend as opposed to an enemy trying to lure them into a death trap, basically. Yeah. And it's really sad because Toko, the author, goes first. Doesn't believe her.
Yeah.
Hides in a closet to just see what goes on, what she does. So when Sakura shows up, Toko witnesses Hiro come in, and Hiro's talking to her, and he doesn't believe her either.
No one believes Sakura, and I think that's the worst part of it.
And bashes her on the head with a bottle.
Yeah,
a
he
glass
bops
bottle.
He bops her on the head.
But the thing is, she's resilient,
tough.
so she doesn't die. She just gets knocked out a little bit.
She's literally the strongest member of this entire group.
So Toko leaves, or
Yeah.
comes out of the little closet thing, and
Yeah.
when Sakura wakes up, bashes her on the head with another glass bottle.
It's a lot of bashing on the head if you think about it.
Yeah, they're just beating her up for no reason.
It's
ridiculous.
Weird. It's weird. I don't understand
It's super ridiculous. And to make matters worse, once Asahina, who she and Sakura are really good friends, girlfriends for the entirety of the game so far. When Asahina comes in, she just finds Sakura bloody in a chair and asks for, because Sakura's whole deal is that she always drinks protein shakes.
Yeah,
so
she
always
loves
drinks protein shakes. And asks Asahina to go and get her a protein shake. Unfortunately, Sakura planned this in advance.
Sakura is a lot smarter than we give her credit for.
And you don't find this out until you're actually in the trial, because Asahina's going through the whole thing saying, I killed her.
Yeah.
I did it. It was me. I'm so sorry. I wasn't thinking, blah, blah, blah. And it turns out Asahina's not responsible for this at all. Sakura planned this from the beginning. She switched protein shake powders and poisons together and all this stuff, because when she did drink that protein shake, she was poisoning herself. And that protein shake is basically what killed her and created this locked room scenario where she was murdered inside of a locked room. Nobody knew what was going on or how anybody would have killed her. And she did this to sacrifice herself for everybody else in the group, so that nobody would have to kill anybody else apart from her.
And it's really upsetting because she really was just trying to do her best to save everyone.
She was trying. She was helping.
She's being a real pal here, and so she just sacrificed herself, which is really tragic, because when you find this out, this entire time, you're totally, again, believe it's Asahina, because it's like,
doesn't she help you with this one?
She does.
She does, yeah.
She does, because like with every murder case, there's always like one character that tends to like stand out and help you for some reason or another.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's unknown why, but
yeah, like Byakuya was one of them. Kyoko was another, and then Asahina.
So Asahina's like, please, you gotta condemn me. You gotta make sure. But Makoto's like, listen, sweaty, I'm gonna just double check the facts here, because there's something fishy going on.
And he double checks those facts real good. And finds out that she is innocent. Sakura committed a suicide in order to save everybody. And it's a little whack.
But then the worst part is because they don't have a blackened.
Somebody has to die for this.
So what do?
Turns out Monokuma found Alter Ego. Mm-hmm. Found the laptop with Chihiro's legacy on it, the AI drive, and smashed them to bits.
It's really this is the worst case of them all.
It was really bad.
This is a rough case. I think we had to pause after this one because
we took a time.
It was rough.
Cause they were doing so well, and they were finally starting to realize that they could trust each other.
Yeah,
to look out for each other.
And then this whole thing happens,
and Monokuma realizes that they're starting to work together.
Gotta destroy their trust.
They're starting to buddy up.
Can't have that.
Can't have that. Can't have that going on.
So we're gonna.
And this leads into a little bit of some new information.
Yes, new information.
Which kind of adds another element to this game. There is a student that nobody's met before.
Dun dun dun!
And they tell you about it like 6 times, and it's the same cutscene.
It's the same
played over and over again.
It kind of gets on your nerves a little bit.
A little bit. But you find out that there's a student in the school no one's met yet named Mukuro Ikusaba.
The legendary
Mukuro Ikusaba, who is ultimate Soldier. It was Ultimate Soldier.
The legendary 16th student.
The legendary. You know how
Wow.
you know how we said there were 15 students?
We lied.
We lied. There's another one, and it's Mukuro Ikusaba. But nobody has seen Mukuro. Nobody knows about Mukuro. Nothing. But you find this because Kyoko comes to you and finds information from outside of the school in this hidden room in the bathroom type deal, and there's information there, and you're almost killed by somebody, which you assume is Mukuro.
Yes.
You assume is Mukuro because later you stumble upon a dead body.
A body's been discovered.
Of course, but it's the body of this person that tried to attack you.
And you're like, what the frick is happening?
What is going on here? But you don't
What's going on?
You don't see the face of this person. You don't see the body of this person. Nothing.
You see absolutely nothing.
Because as you're going to investigate this dead body that you find, it blows up. It blows up. The body is gone.
What body? Body where?
Exactly. Apart from one part, which is just a hand.
A hand. A wild hand.
A single hand.
This hand is very important.
Well, not that hand, but a hand similar to that hand.
Similar to that hand. Either way, it is very important. This hand is very important.
This hand is the identifier of who this individual is.
Which is very odd to think about.
It's strange. But they can't tell who this body is. It's a mystery murder with a mystery murderer, a mystery body, no identity. I mean, you assume it's Mukuro Ikusaba because you have whatever.
Yeah.
But
it's so confusing because all the detail points lead to the fact that
there are only 15 students.
Yes. And not only that, but the murder is very... Isn't it? No. I'm wrong.
Oh.
No, isn't it similar to...
No.
Never mind, JK.
The second one? No. Second game?
No, not the second game. Way back in the way back.
Which way back? Oh. No, there's a knife in it.
We had a moment there, guys. It's okay.
There's a knife and whoa.
We're getting back. We're back.
There's a lot of going around figuring out information about the school, whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't. How do you figure out?
Because
who it, well, because you get the morgue in this case.
Yes, you get the morgue, and you're supposedly like, oh, the body should be here.
Yeah, the bodies of the people who have already been murdered have been placed into the morgue, and there are 15.
There's 15 cases.
There's 15 little slots.
Yeah, I guess slots.
And one of them is one more than the amount of people you have.
Yeah,
is open.
And you're like, what the frick? A body can't just walk out.
There's no way.
They're dead.
That a body's just going to get up and walk away.
Doesn't this lead you to believe that someone in the school is working Monokuma?
Well, I mean, you know that from the beginning. Well, you know that there's a spy at the beginning. But once Monokuma and Sakura kind of whatever, and then Sakura's gone, you're like, Monokuma's still going. So there has to be somebody behind Monokuma. Who is that? Who knows the school? Who knows how to run the game? Who knows about all of these people? Who's watching them constantly?
Yeah.
And that's when you realize that there's somebody else.
You don't know
And if it's not Mukuro Ikusaba...
Whom's the frick is it?
Because you're like, oh, this body, Mukuro Ikusaba, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But there's... this weird thing where you find out that this hand belongs to one of the people who have died already. This is a body that was brought back to replicate a murder.
And you're like, well, then wait a minute. Maybe no one actually died.
Exactly. So you think there's no murder.
There's no actual death.
There's no death.
So what the
frick?
frick?
There can't be a trial, yet there is.
And you're like, wait a minute. So
yeah, there is. You do find out though that this body belongs to Junko Enoshima.
By the hand.
By the hand.
Because of the nails.
Because of the nails.
The fashionista nails.
The fashionista nails. You realize that this is Junko's hand.
And you're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
You're like, Junko was already killed. Why was the body brought back for something
Why
like
was
this?
the body discovered?
So you still have to
do the case.
You still have to finish this trial, and you have to pick somebody as the murderer
Now-
for a body that was already dead.
But the thing is, who's left to pin the blame on? So the question is, who found the body first?
Exactly. And then you end up with this, as we said before, this 33% chance that Hiro prophesied way back if you did his free time events.
Yeah,
And-
this is actually really creepy because we were like, holy cow, Hiro is actually a psychic.
So one of those decisions is bad.
Yeah.
Another decision, bad. And the third decision is also bad.
They're also bad.
But it's basically down to people blaming you, Makoto Naegi, or people blaming Kyoko Kirigiri, who still hasn't really told us anything about herself.
We've been following this girl around like crazy.
We've
and
been blindly following this mystery woman.
why? What were we thinking? I'm like half the time I'm like, do you think Makoto's secretly in love with Kyoko? And then he keeps talking about Sayaka, and I'm like, nah.
Stop it, please.
Please stop. Enough.
So, if you want a bad ending that's very strange and involves people mothering each other's children, I don't know. This is when the game gets really strange.
Click Kyoko.
Yeah, blame Kyoko,
But
and then she'll end up getting murdered for no reason, and then you were wrong. Guess you guys have to stay in here for the rest of your lives. Ha 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 ha.
So then y'all stay in there and end up having
kids with
you,
Asahina.
Yeah,
and
you
Hiro
and Hiro share Asahina
as
and,
a wife.
and so she has your kid and
children.
Hiro's kid, and then Toko Fukawa finally gets together with Byakuya
Byakuya
Tsugami
and
and
they have
a kid.
They have a kid, and then she
But then
dies.
Togami Toko dies.
Yeah, I don't even know.
And we don't know why. So you've just got this worried-looking blonde kid.
Yeah,
looking so upset.
this whole ending is not canonical.
Please do not follow
Needless
this
to
end.
say, don't follow this ending. Follow the one where you incriminate yourself.
Yes, that's the one you want to pick. As much as you don't want
As
to.
much as you don't want
You
to admit that you're a
should.
murderer because you're not a murderer, you can say that you are.
Please say you are.
Please say that you are.
Please.
Because turns out Alter Ego is inside the school now.
Dun dun dun!
Because even though Alter Ego's laptop was destroyed, they're still very much present, and they're still very much helping you guys out.
They hacked the system, buddy.
They hacked the system. They
It's really
stick it to
great.
the man.
Yeah, they hacked the system, and now they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna help you.
And you're
Don't be
spared.
afraid."
You're spared almost immediately before you're crushed to death,
Thanks to this beautiful angel.
and you are thrown in the garbage.
Yeah, you're literally just thrown in the garbage.
And you are just kind of tossed down into this big garbage dumpster room. I don't know. And you're down there for a little while until Kyoko can find you, and she comes down and helps you out, and then you escape, and you're like, hey guys, I'm alive. I didn't die at all.
Ding dong, hello.
But there's still a lot of questions that are unanswered.
One, what is Kyoko's ultimate?
Yeah, what's the deal with Kyoko? Another one.
What up with the photos?
What's up with these photos? Another one. Why was there a body used that had already been dead? What's the deal with that?
What's the point with that?
What's the significance of using an already dead body
Yeah.
to pin the blame on somebody else when Monokuma will just gladly incriminate anyone,
Yeah.
regardless
what
of
the
if they
frick?
actually committed a murder or not?
We don't know the answers yet.
You don't know.
So we gotta basically get out of the garbage can.
You do get out.
Yeah.
You climb these like
We get out. Kyoko Kirigiri has
you snake eater your way up a ladder.
Yeah, Kyoko gets a cup of ramen in her hair.
Yeah.
We have the figure with her
we
with
do,
the ramen in
with
her
the
hair.
ramen hair. But you get out and everyone's just, oh my god, just what's going on?
What do we do now? Ah!
But you work a little bit to figure this out. You decide to proposition Monokuma for another trial to figure out the secret of Hope's Peak Academy. And this is probably one of the most riveting cases in the entire game because you're kind of...
This is the first... Okay, because this is the first game, this one case plays out throughout the entire rest of the series.
Yeah.
And it's what causes a lot of things to happen. Especially in the second game, that one is really heavily connected to the first game. So this case is what brings... It brings your entire world crashing down because you're just like... You cannot believe that this is happening.
The information that you learn, even as vague as it might be,
Yeah.
you'll figure out more about it as the games go on because they start to reveal more and more about what this actually is.
Yeah.
But you do proposition Monokuma to figure out who this mastermind is. Who is the person that's running this game? Who is the person that's trying to get everybody killed? who is the person that's taking pleasure in everyone's pain.
Who's the one taking away all the hope and putting in despair?
We'll get to that in a moment. You do find out, though, through this case, that Kyoko Kirigiri's ultimate talent is ultimate detective. So
Dun dun dun!
Which makes a lot of sense now that she was going through and she was looking at...
And the entire fact that she's been helping us this entire time.
Yeah, and she knows about
you
things.
know.
And whatever.
There's a lot about Kyoko Kirigiri.
There's a lot here that whatever. But you also start to find photos of everybody, of the entire class.
Yeah.
And this is when they're all together. They're happy. They're participating in
having
sports
a good
festivals.
time. There's a lot of cute photos. Please look them up.
Stuff. We'll probably.
We'll put them in. We'll
put
show
them in.
in.
But they're adorable. It's like
so
the whole
good.
class hanging out.
It's wholesome and pure. But if you look closely in all the photos,
if you look at all the photos, you can see
there's one character.
Because isn't Mukuro in these photos? And you go, wait a minute.
Some of them, yes.
No, I'm pretty sure Mukuro's in these photos because
some of them.
Because you go, wait a minute.
No, but aren't they both like covered up?
Well, here, let me look it up because I just want to make 100% sure.
We just want to double check our facts because at least one of the characters I know for sure is constantly covered in all the pictures you see.
Well, let's see.
Like their face is covered.
Yeah, Mukuro is also in these photos.
Okay.
Because you see them and you see Mukuro and then you figure out, oh, hey, that's her. That's the
infamous Mukuro Ikusawa.
That's the student that we think we found, but we didn't find. What is this?
We don't know.
But then you realize that in all of the school photos, there's one individual that doesn't want to be seen
at all.
And as hard as it is, you can still see them. They're still in there.
They're still there. You just can't see their face ever.
But for somebody who's well known for showing their face,
they don't want to be seen.
They don't show themselves. They're not.
And we're like,
out
what
in the open.
Frick?
And you do get a multitude of photos that are all really adorable of them doing different things, whatever. And this person's just not
having it.
Not out there. And that individual is Junko Enoshima. Now, we did mention her earlier on, and
as you may have remembered, she died.
She died. She was impaled a bajillion times.
JK, guys.
Which is hilarious now because she's alive. She's been alive the whole time.
How did she do that, Jason?
Well, she's crazy. She's crazy. And
ain't that the truth?
Turns out Mukuro Ikusawa is her sister.
What?
I know. Plot twist.
Dun dun dun.
She has a sister. And they're twin sisters.
Which is really funny because they look nothing alike.
Until you dress Mukuro up as Junko.
Dun dun dun!
Which is exactly what happened in this case. Junko dressed her sister up and kind of brainwashed her into playing the part of her.
That's another weird thing about this
game.
She
murdered her sister.
She murdered her sister, but not only that, her sister was weirdly like into Junko.
Yeah, like, weirdly,
it's
but
like not like incestually, but it's like a little bit, but like still, she worshipped the ground she walked on.
That's very true.
She would do anything for her sister. She would,
including give her own life.
Yeah.
As her sister.
So when she started freaking out.
Yeah, so when she started freaking out about things, you kind of look back and go, wait a minute, she's starting to realize what's going on here. I mean, even though she was probably as crazy as her sister.
And also she's like the ultimate soldier, so she's killed a lot of people.
Yeah, so it's this whole weird whatever. So you do find out that Junko's alive, Mukuro Ikusawa is her twin sister, they swapped places, even though Junko didn't really go out in the open dressed as her sister. Like, what? Yeah. That never happened. But
that never happened.
She used Mukuro's body, dressed as her, to trick people, so people would... Because people wouldn't know about Mukuro, set it up as a trap, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
But when Junko finally reveals herself to you, she tells you the whole thing was a ruse, basically.
Which is like...
She's doing this for her own pleasure. There's nothing really to be gained from this game anyway.
Yeah.
She loves murder.
Here's the thing about Junko Enoshima. Besides being the ultimate fashionista...
She has another name.
That name is the ultimate
despair.
despair. Dun, dun, dun. So
The despair is a very heavy theme in every single Danganronpa game.
you cannot have despair
Without
without hope. So the entire franchise is based around the idea that despair is going to be the ultimate cause of the downfall of humans and things like that.
With hope, it brings about despair because you're given these not expectations, but you're given these things that kind of prompt you. These past motives have been symbols of hope to these students that bring them to finding despair in death and destruction.
And you're like, oh, this makes a lot of sense.
And it's crazy because she was so right about all of it. She predicted that the students would act this way if they were given some kind of hope. Some kind of something that tied them to the idea that they would be able to escape.
Which leads you to reason that Junko Enoshima is actually super smart.
She's insanely clever.
Like, we did not think that through. And we were like, wait a minute, what the frick? So, like, all of a sudden, Junko comes out here doing all these crazy... First of all, Junko Enoshima is whack. Second of all, Junko Enoshima has multiple personalities.
Well, kind of. It's that she was making fun of the surviving students.
She was making fun of all the surviving students. So let's talk about the surviving students for a second, because let's do a recap because we lost a lot of students along the way. The surviving students so far are Yu, Makoto Naegi, Kyoko Kirigiri, Hiro Hagakure, Aoi Asahina, and Byakuya Tagami, and Toko Fukawa.
Yes.
And so that, if you weren't counting, is 7 students total.
Yes.
And then Junko. So that's 8.
Junko, so that's 8.
That's 8.
Yeah.
Which actually is a lot more than I thought.
If you think about it, there are a lot of people that survive in this game.
Compared to the third game.
Good God. But these are the ones that are currently pitting themselves against Junko for this final battle to figure things out. But what they want to know more than anything, why are they here? Why are they in the school? Why is the school keeping them from the outside world?
These are things that we'd all like to know, fam.
This right here is the moment when you find out the event that is shaping the entire universe of Danganronpa.
The most awful, tragic event.
Well, it is in bold.
Oh, in
right
bold,
here,
in bold. Ready?
Right here. Well, apparently, Junko says, do you really want to know what's going on outside? Do you really want to know what's happening in the world around you? And it is known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. And this is a phrase that's going to be used multiple times over throughout everything.
Please remember this event. This event really affects almost everything that happens in the Danganronpa games.
Oh yeah, it is the moment.
The most tragic, awful.
It's the moment. It is the moment.
It is the moment.
And it's what sparked the Despair Wars, which is currently going on. But is it? Is it going on?
Is it going on?
You're not outside, so you don't know if this is all a lie or not. You don't know if Junko has taken over the world with despair and everybody's killing each other because it makes them feel good.
We don't quite know.
We don't.
Because we're not outside. We're stuck in the school. By the
know.
way, we have not seen the outside world in, a month?
I don't know how long.
We have no idea how long they've been in this. We haven't seen the outside world throughout this entire game. This entire game, we've been stuck inside this windowless school. The windows are boarded up. Things are closed. We have no idea what the heck is going on.
But on the flip side, everyone out there knows what's going on in here.
Because
it's being broadcast.
You know this from the beginning, that you're being broadcast.
You see the cameras. You think that's because the mastermind is watching you. No. The mastermind is watching you. Yes, that is correct. But the mastermind is also projecting the murders and events that are happening in this school to the world to show the public and the masses that there's hope, and then how Junko can just rip it away when we murder each other.
It's like, why would you do this? It's really messed up if you think about it.
Insanely
because
messed up.
You got these kids pinned against each other to fight and kill each other, and they're just children. You're and people take joy in watching this.
And the fact that this is it's Hope's Peak. This is a school that kind of,
it's the symbol of hope.
It's the symbol of hope. And
this is All Might.
The students of this school are basically taught and kind of encouraged to be those symbols of hope in the real world once they graduate. These kids will be set for life. They're the kids that, that if a kid goes into that school, it's because they're going to come out and they're going to do amazing things.
Yeah.
They're going to come out, they're going to be the top of their class, basically. I mean, in a manner of speaking. But they're going to be the best of the best. They're going to be amazing. They're going to do great things. The world is going to change with these students. And if you take these students that are symbols of hope, symbols of change, and you have them kill each other, you know that they're only human. You realize that you realize that they can be corrupted easily.
And
manipulated easily. And it's all because Junko Enoshima is crazy. She's whack.
She's whack.
And she gets off
whack.
on despair.
She really gets off on
She gets off on despair. So once you figure out that everything that she's talking about, when you look back on everything that happens and the clues that you figured out throughout the school, and you figure out, well, one, you figure out that there was a really big, like,
life-changing event going on.
There was a life-changing event in the school that kind of started this despair war that will come back in a later game, but you get a taste of it right now. The fact that in the school...
And you start to remember things.
A little bit, yeah. But in the school, in one of the class... That's scary.
That was really scary.
That was horrifying. There was a magazine...
A magazine just fell off a pile of Jason's clothes.
Fell off a pile of clothes.
That freaked us out a little bit.
That's very scary.
This is
I'm
fine.
scared.
I'm afraid of my well-being.
I'm afraid of where I live. In this school, there was a large-scale murder, and one individual ended up taking out an entire group of students. Mm-hmm. And, well, you don't know anything about this student, really, or like their name, you don't know whatever, but something happened, and they went crazy.
And you're just like...
They went crazy because Junko instigated it.
Yeah, of course Junko instigated it.
She instigated this event, and this wide-scale murder spree, I guess, was broadcast on the news, and people heard about it and read about it, and it was crazy. And a bunch of kids died, and people started rebelling against the school itself, and in an attempt to protect the students that were enrolled in the school or going to be enrolled in the school, you find out that the 78th class of Hope's Peak Academy, which is the class that you're currently with right now.
I told you this number was very important.
It's an important number. This class was locked in the school, which is why all the doors are locked, all the windows are bolted, for their own good. The principal of the school, Jin Kirigiri, which you find out is Kyoko's father.
Wow, that name sounded really familiar.
Exactly. It's Kyoko's father. Asked the students of the 78th class if they would feel comfortable being locked in the school to protect them from the outside world. And so the reason why they're locked in the school is because they did it themselves. They just don't remember.
Yeah. So this entire time, you yourself are the reason you got trapped in this. But you know what's even worse?
What's worse?
Wow, I wonder, the fact that maybe this whole entire thing is not the time we thought it was.
Exactly. This class didn't just walk into the school a couple weeks ago and suddenly meet each other. Oh, no.
Remember when we blacked out right when we walked into the school?
And you remember those pictures that are scattered around the school?
Well, guess what, folks? It's been 2 years!
It's been 2 years, and you've been at school for 2 years, and the fact that your memories are gone, the fact that you don't remember meeting all these people, yeah, that's all fabricated. You knew everyone going into this class. You had spent time with them, you'd become friends with them, you had become a major part of their everyday school life, and suddenly you forget all of that, and suddenly you're going around murdering each other as if you don't have a profound connection with these people. It's
really
messed up.
It's
messed up.
messed up, fam. This is nonsense. I didn't sign up for this. Well, guess what, buddy? You did sign up for this.
Your soul is
forfeit.
Gone. Your soul's gone. You have signed a contract. You've signed yourself away. You are now
sold your soul to the devil.
Basically, and that devil is Junko Enoshima.
Oh yeah.
And because you find out that she's the black end of everything, she's the black end of the world, basically.
She is. She's the cause of everything that's happened, essentially.
She's ruined the world.
She's the ultimate despair.
She is the ultimate despair.
Wow.
And because of that,
fitting.
she is punished for her
crimes.
For her crimes.
Because she follows the rules of the game that she created.
She abides by those rules just as much as anybody else.
She wasn't gonna change the fact that, like...
No. And in fact, she was excited that she gets to die for despair.
By her own hands? It's the ultimate despair.
The ultimate despair.
Wow.
And she dies because of that.
So, Junko Enoshima is dead.
She's dead. But that opens a whole new can of worms.
Get ready for Danganronpa 2.
Yeah, this leads directly into... Or does it lead directly into the events of Danganronpa 2?
Does it?
Does it?
I guess you'll have to watch our next episode to find out.
I guess you will. But
we'll go back to that.
The end a little bit. There's a little bit of time after this trial that you're left with the surviving students. And what are they going to do? They've defeated this ultimate evil that's taken over their lives for the past 2 years, kind of. That's
What's going on?
It's basically set up this whole series of murders and death and despair and hope and love and loss and all this whatever. And now they have nowhere else to go except to leave the school, and they're allowed to do that now. They have the freedom to kind of escape and go out into the real world and see the damage firsthand, and to see if Junko was telling the truth. Is the world saved? Is the world not saved? Is the world just completely ruined? Is there hope for the world? And they open the door to leave.
We should have mentioned that they found a door.
Well, there's a big door.
There's a big door basically that you can't open, but you know it's your way out.
Yeah, it's a big door. And you open that door to escape into the real world, and the game cuts.
That's it.
And
that's
the
all
end of the
you
game.
have for Trigger Happy Havoc.
Trigger Happy
the
Havoc.
Doors closed.
The doors open and they leave, but you just got a blinding light, and you don't know what's outside that door.
Oh, Jason, we forgot to mention one big giant thing.
What's that big
about
giant thing?
Makoto Naegi.
Oh.
Well, guess what, folks? We forgot a giant gaping hole in this whole entire thing.
Okay, well, it's not technically a gaping hole. It's not technically...
Well, during this entire trial, Makoto Naegi gained a new name.
Because as he's leaving the school, he doesn't leave as the ultimate lucky student. He leaves as the ultimate hope.
Dun dun dun!
Because he defeated despair. Dun, dun, dun. Or did he? Or did he?
Well, folks,
this game is the beginning of
a
mess.
Crazy giant mess.
It's the beginning of a mess.
With each new thing that Spike Chunsoft has released
in this universe,
at least, there has been more added to this story. Everything gets more chaotic. Things get crazier. Everything you think you know
is built upon and shifted.
Yeah, you may think you know everything now, but oh boy, howdy, you know nothing.
There are so many. Pandora's box is open.
You have
and everything is coming out.
You have only unleashed layer 1 of this hellscape that is Danganronpa.
Oh yeah, there's more to be uncovered and unpacked in the Danganronpa universe, but because we finished the first game, we'll have to wait until the next episode to tell you a little bit about Danganronpa 2: Goodbye Despair. Which will be the next episode.
There's also a lot that we haven't discussed about in this game. Things like just different time events during the day. You can talk to different people. So if you still want to play the game, I highly recommend you still play the game, because there's a lot that you can do when you interact with the rest of the students and just seeing any of the props yourself. It's also just really fun to play the game yourself.
Yeah.
If you haven't had the chance and you're just watching this because you want to see us goof around and try and explain this game in chaotic layman's terms.
That's basically what we're here for.
That's what we're here for. I highly recommend you go play the game right this instant and then come back to us and tell us what you think.
Of course. Yeah, tell us. If you've played the game already, this is literally just our take and our experiences on how we feel about the game.
Our opinion's not the only one. You guys have all your opinions.
Yeah, games sometimes like this are open to interpretation, open to feelings. People feel different things about different characters, so don't let our opinions affect how you view the game.
Yeah, like for instance, you may like a character we don't like, or
exactly.
You may not like.
You might have Hifumi on a body pillow.
Hifumi may be your ultimate waifu, and you know what? Good for you.
Honestly, I don't think your waifu's trash if it's Hifumi.
Listen, to each their own waifu.
Yeah, to each their own waifu.
I hate that I just said that.
Exactly. So, honestly, if you guys are looking forward to the next episode, literally, let us know. We're just going to keep rolling these out.
If you guys have any suggestions for us,
yeah,
if you want to hear
our
layman terms.
Yeah, if you want us to dumb something down for you,
let us know. I guess.
Let us know
because we'll look into it, and we're really just doing what we know so far.
Yeah, we have a list of things we want to cover.
But that being said,
episodes,
I'm always interested in learning something, watching something new. So if you got any things to watch, I'm here to watch.
Yeah. So I think
animations really too.
I think because we've gone through the entire game, we've kind of hit everything that we wanted to hit. This has been the pilot episode of In Layman's Terms. I'm Jason, and
I'm Olivia.
And this is Olivia. And we're going to just keep on trucking. Our next episode, we're going to cover the second game, Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair, which is personally my favorite game out of all of the Danganronpa games. I'm really excited to talk about that. So
it really is the best one.
Yeah, so get ready for that, guys. Grab your hamsters and
grab your hamster. Oh God! Grab your hamsters.
Grab your hamsters. Grab your creepy, demented bunnies, and
grab your crazy white-haired boyfriends.
Yeah, and your floral
despair
and your floral t-shirts.
And grab your hope
because we're going to the beach.
Woo! To the beach.
To the beach. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next episode.